Welcome, I'm not saying this because he's sitting next to me. When I tell you this man completely changed me and my life and how I see things, he did it. I had a whole bunch. He made me realize I had a whole bunch of situationships before him, and so as we've been dating, it's been 5 months now. We met through the cigar culture world.
5 months on December 20th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
So tomorrow makes 5 months for us, and I'm gonna tell you guys how the group came about. So, we were just talking like we always do, and so, he's like, people call you a lot for advice and thoughts and this and this and this, and and it's always kind of relationship based. And he said we should just have conversations and talk about relationships and stuff like that. So we decided to start the group, and he really is gonna be handling all of this. He's gonna be doing all of this, but this is why we came up with the group, and we wanted to be real and transparent and share all of that. But I want to really emphasize the fact that one of the things that I saw in this relationship that was different from any other relationship that I've had is communication. And we literally can talk about a lot of different things. Even if we disagree about it, it does not turn out toxic, which is what it's been for me in the past, and probably what it's been for him. We always have that past of toxic stuff where communication could not exist. Even if you disagreed, we can disagree and walk away and still love each other, right? The other part to it is, Michael emphasized this earlier and talked about this earlier about social standards, right? Everybody around me loved the fact that I continued to move on with my life. I started grief counseling 30 days after he passed, and the grief counselor said to me, he died and you didn't, Kia. So you have to move on. And I remember thinking like, ooh, that was harsh, right? But it was the truth. And I deserve to continue to live, and I deserve happiness. And out of everybody around me, the one person that had something negative to say about me moving forward was my mother. And she said, you don't need to move on. I'm not accepting this. And I said, but it's not your choice. It's not your choice. Like, I'm happy. I have somebody that truly has been intentional with me. And you should be happy for me. And so, we decided again to have these conversations because in 45 years of living, and about half of that dating, I really learned something by dealing with him in just this short amount of time of 5 months. So when people tell you it takes them a long time to figure things out, it doesn't. It don't take you a long time to figure nothing out. Because we knew very early in our relationship that this was real. So, I'm going to leave it open for you, babe.
All right, so when she came, I said I came along. It's not that I came along and said, oh, this is what you need to do, this and that. All I did was come along and be myself. What I did bring, or didn't bring, I should better say, is mistakes I did in the past. I am divorced. Matter of fact, to be on honesty, one of the panelists is technically my ex-uncle-in-law, and we still good. So it's not the fact that I who fault was it for a divorce? That's not the issue. It's what did I do wrong, or what can I learn? Because nobody ever did everything perfect in any damn relationship. I'm sorry. If you did, you must be Jesus or something. But hell, and I can't swim, so I damn sure ain't walking on water. Right. So all I did was be myself and not take any baggage with me. But I did allow for her to be, allow for her to improve me. she like to use the word transparency. This right here ain't me. I don't be in camera. If anybody see my Facebook, I'm still that blank man.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still. In the past 3 months, I just put myself on Instagram, and if you look at my Instagram and I put pictures up, I'm the second photo. So what? This is not me, but this is something that we decided we need to do. And part of progression is moving forward and stepping out your comfort zone. Where she stepped out of her comfort zone, or I would say that zone. I'm gonna say that zone of grief, but she gave me a lot, and I thank her for that. So one thing I'm gonna do is appreciate this shit, make it the best shit, and keep this shit going. All right. So, yeah. So, I don't really speak, and everybody tell you. What the funny part is, I'm going now. You can chill out now. I got you. All right.
You warmed up.
You're good now.
Yeah. You messed up now.
Right.
She know I have two personalities. I have a social personality and a work personality. My social personality is a very introvert, low-key personality, and my work personality is overt. Everybody want to be around me. Oh, that's mama, that's that man type guy. So what she's doing to me, is making a version and making a better version. When 1 and 1 equals 3, that's what she's doing for me, and I appreciate it.
Right.
So, So you can step out, baby. I got this. So this is.
No,
I got you, baby.
Bye, kid.
Yeah. That's my baby. Yeah.
He said, I got you.
Go and get that wine now.
You the moderator. I love it.
We gonna get to the meat of this. I know we a little behind. I apologize to everybody. So this forum is about open questions from a lady's point of view. We're gonna have panelists. We have things like Mike, for instance. Mike been married. How many years you been married, Mike?
31 years.
31 years.
Wow.
Hold on. I'm gonna add to it. 31 years. And in that 31 years, how many years were you in the military?
25 years.
So in that 31 years, 25 years he's married in the military. And those who know military is a high divorce rate. So he did something right, or they excuse me, no. I'm a backtrack. They did something right. Because it takes two, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm gonna give Linda credit. I know Linda
Yeah,
probably watching. Yeah, because I will get a text or call from Linda. Linda, you did a damn good job with him.
Okay.
Yeah. You know.
Okay.
And so that's one aspect. The second aspect, Lawrence. Lawrence is you're single, right, Lawrence? Yeah. Lawrence is single, but when he's looking for that soulmate, it's got to be. He got to walk in God. But when we walk in God, everybody don't understand that. It's a special type to walk in God, and I'm pretty sure when he's talking to you, I hate to say it, evaluating you, but that's what we do. We evaluate our mates. We are our potential. We're gonna walk in the future with. Are you gonna walk in God with me? Can you handle this faith? Because that Bible is the Bible, and that's what he needs. That's what he wants. That's what he desires, and that's what it is. Then we got my man, my little brother. I call him my little brother because he called me big brother because I don't think because of age. I think because I'm just a full figure, sexy type of guy. But anyway, Keith. Yeah, Keith. We won't call him a player. We call him the casual man. The casual man is what a lot of guys. At the end of the day, a lot of guys desire sex. Sex is a hell of a motivation for a lot of things we say, we do, and we move, how we move. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, breaking man code, may possibly breaking man code. We say it to let women fall for it, and when they fall for it, they get hurt. At the end of the day, we don't want to hurt because when we do desire, people like Lawrence who do desire that exceptional woman, they come in with hurt, unhealed, or baggage, and we don't want that. Because as a society, we're better together than we are by ourselves. And our forum today is just to get a glimpse, an open forum of how we can do this to make everything go better, proceed forward. And I'm looking at my crowd. It's all us. And I hate to, and I don't want to say us, but all black people. This is us. I love my people. And how this is going to work today? I'm gonna have these great panelists come up here, and I'm gonna introduce them, and we're gonna ask questions. This is unfiltered. This is the real. This is why it says affirm the real. We're gonna let them speak. And we're gonna get the questions. And not only that, I'm gonna give them questions. I'm gonna let everybody in the audience give them questions. I have a basket full of questions that they can ask. You can ask them. We're gonna let everybody get camera. Everybody get a shot. These are from what people said, when people, written in or whatever. This is what we need. Because at the end of the day, I hate to say it, that people look at the black people as, instead of the kings and the best there is, sometimes they look down on us. And what they ain't gonna do is take our pride from us and let us be us. All right. Okay, I got it, baby. I got it. See, that's my number 3. Make 1 and 1 make 3. All right, girl. Hey, you looking good in them tights. Yeah, Lord. Whoa, damn. Hey, you my brother. Don't get fucked up. So speaking of Keith, Keith, you want to speak? Come on up here. I'm gonna introduce Keith. Keith is my casual man.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
You got old blood.
Us, yeah. Hey, I hate to say this but Keith, he informed me today he had 3% body fat, and like I said earlier, 3% ain't no but skim milk to me. Only thing I seen 3 in my life was my age. Yeah. Hey, I'm a 14 now, brother. I'm a big kid now. Anyway. So Keith, introduce yourself. Tell them how old you are and a little something.
Keith Smith. Just my uncle. This is my big brother. I was married for 22 years, and I didn't do everything right. And I don't think I did everything wrong. I had some great guidance. I had some
Filtered, bro.
some fucked up guidance. And I took the fucked up guidance. This guy right here, that guy right there, got me on the right path.
That's what I'm talking about.
Stayed with this guy right here, took me in, getting a little emotional. Only thing that I want positivity, and I just want to be loved. So like he say, the casual guy, yeah, that's what I did. I'm gonna tell you whatever I want to tell you to get what I need to get. I'm done with that. I want love now. I want love. I want somebody to love me. I'm not bringing no baggage to the table. Single for 4 years. And these last 4 years, I've been dealing with these 2 cats right here. And I think they got me on the right path. So I'm not a talker. I don't do this.
You gotta be a talker. Just be honest. Speak yourself. Speak from the heart.
Huh?
Yeah. I ain't gonna call you out, but yeah.
But my uncle gonna do that. My uncle gonna do that. My uncle gonna do that.
All right. So good job. So.
I'm so proud.
Have a seat, bro. Oh no. You got that cushionless seat. It's all right. So in the background, you hear Jeff. Jeff is the world-class barber. Jeff had to everything from I'm putting this shit out the business. I'm putting his business in the street. All right, from pimping, hoeing to anything. He done pimp women.
No.
Okay. All right then.
No, it's not putting it out there.
No.
Putting it, say it, but I'm not no.
Not a pimp. Don't say
Okay.
pimp. Don't say
Okay.
pimp.
So that's cool. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna introduce him. So what Jeff is gonna be later on. I'm gonna call him the consultant.
Yes.
Because if you know, a lot of times men come with when it's a beauty shop, it means it's the what? Barber shop. Jeff has a lot of guidance because he did a lot of things. Ain't too much he did in the dating life and in that realm we talking about now. So we'll get to him later. So next person I'm gonna tell him is Lawrence. Come on up here, Lawrence. This is I just met Lawrence a few dealing with Kia. I like Lawrence. Lawrence is a real dude. This is my faith-based person who's gonna handle it from that experience. Come on in, Lawrence. Talk to me. Talk to the people. Excuse me. How you doing?
How y'all doing? I know I've seen probably several of you guys. How you guys doing at some of the events we've had? Hey Kia, that's like my sister right there, man. Well, this first and foremost, I'm Lawrence. I'm 45 years old. I'm a single man, right? Like he mentioned, I'm definitely looking for a woman who has God in her life. There's a reason for all of that. Me myself, I was married for 18 years. Was one of my longest stretches. My second marriage was like 3 to 4 years.
I've been there, bro.
And so I'm gonna tell you something. It doesn't matter if you're in God or not. It really doesn't matter. There's principles that I think that every relationship should be under. Every relationship has to have principles behind it. And so you find a principal woman, you have a principal man. You work together and you build those relationships. That's what it's about. And it does take time. It does take time to build the positive, strong relationships. So of course, first time when you hear from a spiritual aspect, everybody thinks perfect. No, it's not about being perfect. You come into it as you are, right? And you build together. The foundation is what makes the relationship last. So, I write every day. I write poetry. I love doing that. I love expressing myself through music, all kinds of different things. That's what I love to do. So I'm excited to be on the panel. Definitely appreciate you guys inviting me, and hopefully I can answer your questions.
All right, my man, have a seat. All right, so next we're going to do. I can get in the camera. I'm thinking pretty now.
Oh, go ahead. Do your thing.
All right. So next, like I said,
You ain't bald head, though.
Yeah, you ain't bald head.
You ain't bald
You
head.
ain't
You're
lying.
completely bald head.
Yeah.
You got maybe you got some time.
Yeah, you got a little
Maybe.
time.
don't ask my barber. He said different.
Yeah.
It's almost gone.
Sometimes you feel like holding on.
There you go. There you go.
That's it?
That's all right, though. I won't no longer be a client. I should be a member. All right.
It depends on Kia.
Yeah. So, anyway, with that being said, if I get in trouble, the next one is Mike. Mike is the married guy I spoke to earlier. Come on down, Mike. Come and talk to the good people. Have a seat.
Come on.
All right. All right. How y'all doing? My name is Michael, and I've been married for 31 years. I'm a career military man. I've been in the United States Air Force for 25 years. I'm disciplined in my approach in life, and the military kind of taught me that. And so I have a very firm set of rules or things that I kind of follow. But it's just one of those things that I got lucky. I found the right woman early on, and she complimented me. She made me want to be better. She made me want to do the right thing and want to be that person for her. And I think I've done that. If you ask her, hopefully she will say the same thing. And she's been with me for 31 years, so I would assume she likes what she got in me. But I'm really simple in my approach in life and how I look at things. But I just know that I'm just disciplined in what I let in my life and what I don't let in my life. I may not always know what I want, but I definitely know what I don't want, and I can figure that out real quick, and I exclude that from my life immediately when I see something I know I don't want. So I don't know what else y'all need me to say, but obviously, if you got any questions for me,
That's right, bro. You good?
I'm good.
We good. We're gonna keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So this is how it's gonna work today. We're gonna have the audience, like I say, ask their questions. There's a couple people in the audience who actually sent in questions, and and we're gonna let them express their questions live, and these three gentlemen is gonna answer them. And at that time, we're gonna open up to as they answer them, we're gonna open to the floor. If any kind of one can chime in, but there is a time limit, so we gotta kind of keep it limited. Right. So what we're gonna do, Sherry? I know you actually sent the question in because I viewed it myself. I'm gonna walk back there. We're gonna step up to the other mic and we're gonna let you ask your question. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So Sherry.
Also, let's point this out, babe.
All right, baby. Gotcha.
Let's be respectful of people's opinions and thoughts. Be open-minded, right? We didn't talk about this early on, but be open-minded to what people say. You might not agree, you might not feel the same way, but we're going to be respectful and open-minded to what people say. We're not going to get argumentative. We're not doing that. We're in an age bracket where we can communicate effectively, right?
I agree.
Amen.
All right, so we're gonna do that because this really is the whole purpose of it. Everybody's not gonna agree.
That's right.
Everybody's not gonna be on the same page. But I'm gonna tell you something. I learn something from people every day. So that's really the purpose of what we're doing. So if you got a question, we have a basket full of questions. Sherry put in a question, so she's gonna ask her own question at the mic back there. We're gonna get started.
All right. Sherry. Come on.
Let's go.
All right, Sherry. Come on back here. I think this look like your question right here.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead. Step up.
So my question is, what does submissive look like? A little bit of background to that is a lot of women who look for men, one of their main things is they don't want to be submissive. They can't be submissive. So and I'm not saying all women, but for most women, submissive looks like I gotta listen to what you say and do whatever the man says, and I don't have a voice. So with you all being men, obviously you're married and single and have been married, what does submissive look like to you?
Good question. All right, so good question. So what I'm gonna do? We're gonna start off with Lawrence. Keith will jump in. We're gonna start with Keith. We're gonna go to Lawrence. Then we're gonna go to Mike.
No, go ahead.
Mike, because Mike. So Mike, we're gonna start. Keith, we'll start with you. So Keith, elaborate, please, sir.
So, again, married for quite some time. Didn't do everything right. Didn't do everything wrong. Submissive now to me means to me is to walk side by side. I felt like I'm the man, I'm the head, I'm that. But I'm not. I want somebody to walk side by side with me. And like my guy said, it's the first time I've been to church in years. I went to church this morning. Not because somebody made me do it. I chose to do it. So now, submissive means to me is I want to walk side by somebody. I don't want to be the head. I don't want to say you don't have an opinion. I don't want to say what I say goes. We need to have a conversation. I like this, you don't like that. Well, let's figure out how we can get to this, because it's going to be something that you don't like, that you like, that I don't like. So we got to get to that 50-50. To me, it was always what I said was the highway. And it didn't really work for me because I was married twice.
Okay, Keith. It's gonna bring up another question. I'm gonna let everybody get through, and I gotta some underline it with that question. So, Lawrence, you're a man of faith. Let's talk to the people.
Okay, so submission. When you hear the word submission, immediately you think that it's somebody controlling somebody else, right? And that's the big mistake. Big mistake. Submission is your willingness to serve your mate. You're willing to serve your mate. Before you decide to get married, ladies, what do? You put yourself in a position to be married, right? Your actions show that you want to be married ahead of being married. So you put yourself in a position to serve this individual. to take care of that individual, to love that individual. And it should happen on both sides. It's not just from one scale. You're humbling yourself. You're killing your own will to serve somebody else. So that's really what this is all about. I think sometimes we put our own perspective in it, and we say, oh, wait a minute. I'm an independent person, and I come from this background, and ain't nobody gonna tell me X, Y, Z, and that's not. It's not about that. It's killing your will and putting them in position to be able to serve somebody.
That's true.
And if you can serve somebody on an equal term, then that's what a loving relationship should look like. That's what submission should look like.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good answer.
All right.
Right.
You gonna snap for us, is you? Thank you, Mr. Poet. So Mike, you said how many years you been married, Mike?
31 years.
So let's have the 31-year professional answer this one. Go ahead, my friend.
My answer to submission is a little bit different, but a lot the same. It is a partnership, and with me and my wife, we make decisions together. But at the end of the day, if there is a decision to be made with consultation with my wife, she thinks we should go left, and I think we should go right. And you weigh the pros and cons of everything. At the end of the day, I'm gonna have the final decision. It's not in the vacuum, and it's not saying that her opinion don't count, but someone has to take the lead, and that falls on me as a man. I have to step into that dominant role and take the lead, and and she trusts that whatever decision I make is going to be for the betterment of our family. I'm not going to do I would hope she believes I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize our family, that's going to put us in harm's way, that's going to lead us down a path that's, where we shouldn't be. But like with any company or any organization, there can only be one leader. And, and I tell everybody that my wife, she is my CFO. I mean, and literally when it comes to finances, she handles all the bills. I make the money. For the past 2 years, my wife have not worked. She didn't have to work. I make all the money, but she pay all the bills. I mean, literally, I don't even know when payday is. I don't have to know when payday is. I know when I swipe my ATM card to buy something, it's money's there. It's never declined. I don't even worry about it. That's how much confidence and that's how much faith I have in her that she's handled her business. We have our own roles to play. I have my role and she has her roles, and we play it perfectly, so again, but at the end of the day, a man has to be a man. He has to set the tone as to how the relationship is going to go, and she knows that whatever decisions I make is going to be for the betterment of the family.
All right.
So that's what I think of when I think of submission. It's a partnership.
So let me ask you this, Mike. So, and now everybody to the panel, would you say submissiveness also includes a high layer of trust?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
If you select the right mate, you know that you can trust that man, that he is on the right path. And and if that man select the right mate, he know that she's going to bring certain qualities to the table that's going to accentuate what you already have going on. But you can't flip the roles and have the woman in a dominant position where she's going to start leading, because that's going to cause problems, and that's just not the way men and women were designed to be performed. It's not optimal that way. Now, obviously, there's outliers where certain relationships can work that way, but that's not the norm. Most men need to be in that dominant position. But if you select the right man, he got your back. He is going to do what's right for the family.
All right. So let me ask everybody in attendance this: anybody have any agreements, disagreements, or anything they want to add to that? Or that Sharon? Oh, Sharon, come on up. You got what you want to say, Sharon?
I just wanted to add like a second part to that question.
All right, come on up here.
Okay.
Come up here, Sharon. Oh, yeah. Step in my position.
Hey, Sharon.
So my second part to that question, for the men, submissiveness, is that an expectation that comes with a relationship or a marriage? Because there's a difference.
and I'm saying that from a woman's point of view, it's been discussed. Okay, it's like, who am I being submissive for? You're not even my husband. So does that come with the expectation of, like, I'm your girlfriend or as your wife?
No, I can answer that.
Okay.
Oh shit, come on.
This is what we talking about. Come on, all right, hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Lawrence has to answer that question. Go ahead, Lawrence.
So here's the thing, kind of like I said before. Back in the old days and before time when women are being raised, the expectations was for them to one day become married. So even if you're in a relationship, okay, so what is the expectation of that relationship? Expectation is to grow into a marriage, hopefully one day. The thing is that you're already playing a role already. Either you, the Bible said that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It didn't say he who finds a woman. Notice the difference. Because every woman is not qualified to be wife. Like every woman is not qualified to be mother. Let's think about what I'm talking about. You should already have those attributes in you already. So you wouldn't like separate the two, because if you're a wife already. It's something like you can't separate. Well, I'm in a relationship, so I should try to submit to this person. You should already be working like you're already preparing for marriage.
Yes, sir.
That should be you already. That's my answer.
All right, good. Okay, good. Hold on a second, Jeff. Let me hit Rodney real quick. Then we're gonna do Rodney. Then we're gonna let Jeff one more. Then we're gonna move on. All right, come on, Rodney. Step up to the mic.
High five. Well, listen, first off, I want to say to all three of you, we're thankful for you being here today. Know it takes a lot of courage, and Keith, my man, keep doing what you're doing. God's got a plan for you. But I wanted to say this, when you brought up submissive, you have to turn this to biblical, because that's where it comes from. And being submissive does not mean you second, you sub, none of that. It doesn't. Because if you research it, the Bible says in Ephesians 5:22, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband. But I tell people this all the time. You got to back up 2 verses. It says, we all should be submissive to one another. So submissiveness is not tied directly to just the wife, but it's tied to all of us. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much.
Amen. See, he's not a poet. He get a clap, not a snap. All right. So the next person we're gonna pull up, he's our consultant, the barber, the world class himself. Step up.
And the myth.
The myth, and he's my legend, but to me, he's my brother.
He's definitely my legend.
I want you to. Who just asked? You just asked the question. Can you repeat the question?
I said, as far as submissiveness, is it an expectation during like a relationship when there's no commitment of marriage? Like from my own experience, when I was dating, like I literally had a man say to me, like, he was asking me about being submissive, but I don't even look at you as a protector and a provider, so how am I going to submit?
Right.
With him now.
So is it an expectation in a relationship, or does it happen only when you're married, the expectation?
Well, I can go like all over the place, but I'm like my man. I'm biblical. In the Bible days, nobody dated. No, nobody dated. There was dating that's not even in the Bible. So, but like my man up here said, everybody should be practicing what they're doing, what they're going to do as a husband or a wife. So being submissive in the Bible, you have to know how to be submissive already. Not say, I know how to be submissive. Be submissive. Just be it, because there's a lot of scriptures. I like to use Ruth. Ruth was doing what God told her to do. She wasn't doing what she wanted to do, and she was found.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wasn't just doing something just to be chose. She was doing exactly what God. So everybody, if everybody is doing what God told them to do, you'll find yourself in a place where the man can find you, and he already knows submissiveness when he sees it, because he's submissive himself. him.
All right. All right. Appreciate world class. You know, world class, you all right with me, brother. All right. So
I have just a little bit of
all
twist
right.
on that.
Oh, it's okay. So Mike, go ahead,
And,
elaborate.
you know, and what I'm going to do is, and first of all, I agree with what both of the gentlemen said. I mean, was spot on. I mean, obviously they gave it from a biblical point of view, and I agree 100% with what they said. But I would take out the word submissive, and I would insert the word being feminine. And I would say is that, you know, for a woman, you should always be feminine, regardless of who you're with. Now, when you choose that right man, you know, you shouldn't ask the question, well, should I be feminine to this man and not feminine to that man? If you're choosing the right man, you should always be feminine. That's your nature. You know, and so, and as a man, his nature is always going to be masculine. So that's that balance that we have with one another. So, I mean, it shouldn't be, it's something that you can't just turn on and turn off whenever you want. You know, either you are feminine or submissive or you're not. You know, and you can't just turn that switch on. I will only be feminine if I meet the right man. But if I don't meet the right man, I'm going to be in my masculine nature. And I think that's, you know, something that I feel that modern day women kind of get mixed up. You know, they try to be masculine because they're put in a position where they have to do a lot of things. Like I say, I know it's going to be a little controversy.
Yeah, so,
you know, but, and I may have took it a step too far.
No,
But it's all good.
first of all, you ain't
I'm ready
saying
for
that.
it.
This is an open forum.
Yeah.
You say what you believe, say what you mean.
Yeah.
So this next question is we're gonna put that aside for a second, because I look at several faces over here.
I know.
So I'm gonna open this floor. I'm opening the floor up to this side of the room, cause I see some faces. Speak. No, you're not. So. Come on up here and speak your piece. No, Elaine, come on up here. Step to the podium.
To the person that don't want to be on camera.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
First off, I need clarification to feminine.
Yeah.
Please clarify what you mean by feminine.
Feminine is, I mean,
And masculine. Yeah, because nowadays there's a little confusion about what that looks like. So tell me what that looks like to be feminine and what it looks like to be masculine.
So, thank you. That's a good question. So, no, you can stay right there. So, what we're going to do, that's a great question. And we're not going to just restrict it to you, Mike. We're going to let all three of you address what's feminine and masculine, because guess what? That in a relationship, that's a big point. What's feminine, what's masculine, and later on, eventually, what's defined roles in that relationship. All right.
Are there roles? Okay.
Miss Loudbody, I got homo stomach in though. So, Mike, carry on the question. Answer that question, please.
Okay. Well, I mean, feminine, you know, it's everybody kind of has their own definition, but I mean, for me, I mean, part of being feminine is being submissive. Part of being feminine, in my opinion, is basically kind of like honoring your man, you know, and basically letting your man take the lead, letting your man, you know, be that head of the house, being that protector for you, being that provider for you, you know, and it's just one of those things that I think for a lot of women, they have been put in a position where they have to be the head of their own household, you know, whether it's single mothers or whatever. And, you know, when you are put in that position, you have no choice but to be more masculine, more dominant, because you're playing the role of the mother and the father. You know, and, you know, then when you carry that over into a relationship with a man, that's not what a man is looking for. I mean, so it's just one of those things that I don't. How can I put this? I don't know if I have the 100% true definition, you know, but it's just one of those things. It's just being more submissive, being more caring to a man, being, you know, allowing the man to take the lead. Not saying that you don't have a voice, not saying that your voice is not important, but understanding that your man is going to step out front and he's going to take those arrows he's going to shield you from a lot of things. And I'll let some of the other gentlemen, you got a different definition.
So Lawrence, take the lead on that one. Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know what that looks like. the thing
I'm
is,
with you, Lawrence.
Honestly, I don't.
I'm sorry.
He brought that up.
No, don't be sorry. Be honest to the question. We're going to address it.
A woman is a woman. A man is a man. The positions, the roles are what they are. I don't know. If you want to be somebody's wife, you're gonna be somebody's wife. If you want to be a husband, you're gonna be a husband. I don't know as far as the feminine and masculine role is. I think you should know those things ahead of schedule. That's what I believe. I can't. As far as what that should look like, I don't know what that should look like. No.
All right. Okay. So Keith, go ahead and jump in for me, please. Thank you.
I'm just like Lawrence. You know, I don't know what that looks like because I always felt like, you know, I'm the head. I'm the, you know, like my man said, you know, the final decision belongs to me. But in my relationships, that was the only option. You know, I was brought up about, you know, a bishop, and you know that's what he taught me. But apparently that's really not right, because if you don't have an opinion, or you have an opinion and I don't subject to it, then what it is.
Okay, I got you. So what we're going to do, we got 2 more comments from the audience, and we're going to move on. So first one, we'll let Janelle come up, because where she look right now, I'm scared. Come on up here.
We all should be.
Can you hold your cigar?
No, I don't need no help. Thank you so much. Well, I just want to piggyback off. I understand what Lawrence and Key. Is it Key?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Michael? Is
Yes.
that? I understand what you're saying, because and this is, I think you used the wrong term when you said feminine. But as a single mother, I can speak from that point. I raised my kids by myself. So I am masculine and feminine. I'm both roles. So I have to do that. When I'm in a relationship, I have to learn. It's a learnt. You have to learn to go back to be that submissive female that you're supposed to be.
Yes.
That's something that I deal with Rick. I have to, sometimes he has to look at me and I have to learn to shut the hell up, because I'm the man and the woman. So it depends on who you're with that brings that out of you. And if you want to be with that person, you're going to make that shit work.
Amen. Yes.
I don't. Hold on a second. So she said her piece. I think we're gonna add more comments from on that one. So we're gonna hold on, Jeff. We're gonna let, because Jeff is our consultant. We're gonna let Sherry say her piece. Sherry, you good? You wanna come on up? Come on up here. We're gonna say her piece and let Jeff our consultant, because astute gentleman, world class barber, gonna say something.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
So basically, I just wanted to just kind of wrap up the thing. So just being a woman, being a masculine and a feminine woman, and not because I didn't have a man, I didn't have to raise my children alone. It's not that. It's just that's the society we in, and sometimes roles calls for different changes at different times. So I can be either. And I just wanted to add to that, the definition of feminine is having qualities or appearance traditionally associated with a woman. So that there to me doesn't have anything to do with being submissive. Those are, in my opinion, those are just 2 different things.
All right. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna get one more comment from Jeff real quick, and we're gonna move on.
Okay, so my the masculine and the masculinity thing, females men. The word, I think the word should be authoritative.
Yeah.
Yes.
So being masculine and being feminine belongs to genders.
Yeah,
Feminine belongs to female, masculine belongs to male.
Yes.
Period. So, no disrespect, I don't believe that a woman can be masculine.
No, we were.
Or,
I don't,
no,
yeah.
but that's what you said.
But I didn't mean like that.
I know.
you said.
No, and that's why
Authoritative, that's the word.
but
You know what shit meant.
you can masculine. She says you can have masculine traits. You can have authoritative traits. Being masculine is only reserved for a man. A man should not have feminine traits. If he does, then you got other things going on, and vice versa. But they're reserved for what. That's why both of them start with the letters that goes with the man and the female, feminine and masculine. They go where they go. Having, again, women, I hear a lot of women say that, and I have masculine traits. No, you're just authoritative. When you have to raise a child by yourself because the man is not there, you have to take on the authoritative role, not the masculine role.
I like that.
Because a man can only raise a boy to be a man. A woman, so in order to raise a boy to be a man, he has to have some masculinity. You got to have a balance. So a female, there's no way. Well, there are some ways, I guess, now with science, but a woman can't teach a man, a boy to be masculine.
Thank you for the correction. Okay, authoritative. That's the word.
It hurts me when I hear women say,
I'm masculine.
And I never say that until I've heard they say it right now.
So-
But authoritative, that's the perfect
So
word.
we got clarification, and that's what the forum is open. We get clarification. Sometimes we misuse words. I use miswords all the time. Yeah, you know. I'm from the South. We can misspell them too. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next question. Come on, so Dana, this is my friend. I dig her a lot. This is my dude. This I don't know, dude. This is one of my girlfriend's best friends, and I respect her a lot. So come on up here and ask your question.
All right. So my question is probably more for the single guys. It's about healing. So I noticed that women, or just even my circle, this is an I statement, when we're in relationships or we're by ourselves, we spend time healing. So we spend time, working on ourselves. We spend time reading, journaling, just like focusing on us. I'm starting to notice sometimes things I see, especially like with male friends, that when they get out of relationships, they don't necessarily heal, or they don't take the time to heal, or they don't take the time for therapy or time for self, and they're kind of going from person to person. Or even I notice women that go from person to person. So what do you guys do to heal, to ensure that you're working on yourself before going into another relationship or situationship?
Great question. Great question. I never had a chance to heal because I was going person to person, and my brother Marcus can tell you. I took a step today. I hadn't been in church in years. I took a step today, and my uncle will tell you. I went to church. The only way to heal is through who?
God.
Yeah. So I had been beat down, broken down, talked crazy to, and I took it because I felt like that's where I was supposed to be because that's where my kids were. Pastor Haynes.
Oh yeah.
Forgiveness. Forgiveness. I forgave every woman that I ever dealt with that did me dirty. So I'm on the process. I'm in the process of healing, and the only way I'm gonna do that is through the big guy upstairs.
All right, cool. So now we referring to the big guy upstairs. So Lawrence, we're gonna alley-oop this to you. I want you to preach on this one, my friend.
Okay, so
So you, Chevalier. So when Chevalier critiques personalized humidors, I'm gonna throw a shout out. I just don't want a magazine cover, y'all. So I'm fan basing right now. You know what? Oh, you gonna write up? We gonna talk about that later. So we're gonna let you go, Lawrence. Then we're gonna let you will come ask something. But go ahead, Lawrence.
Okay, so one of the things that I do, the big thing for me, I always do what I call a lesson learned practice. lessons learned. No relationship is a mistake. It's not. You're in class. You're learning while you're in class. Okay. If you fail the subject, you take it again. That's kind of how it works. Right. Yeah. So what I do is a lesson learned practice, and I don't focus on the other person. Because see, it's easy to bail yourself out by focusing on what they did wrong and what they did right. You have to really look in the mirror and focus on you. The issues that you have, it takes two to destroy relationships. I don't care how toxic you may call somebody or whatever. It takes two for that to happen. And how you gonna heal is that you gotta face you, not the other person. They're not even there in that space at the time. They shouldn't be occupying space in your mind. You should be focused on yourself as an individual, putting the process together. It takes time to do that. You gotta get real with yourself so that you can prepare for somebody else. And you really have to do that practice. At work I do the same thing. It's a lesson learned. I manage several people, but you have to do lessons learned when things go wrong, and it's not to focus on somebody else. But like my man said, healing does come from God. We do know that part of it. Yeah. But I do think there's practical advice in all of that too. You have to take the time to get to know why you failed at something, or how can I be better for the next situation? Everybody is transitioning all the time. You're changing all the time. You have new experiences, new relationships all the time. You got to be better for where you're headed. The only way you're gonna do that is that you got to focus on you. You got to get the facts. Got to be line them up. Don't write about what everybody else did. I remember one time I used an example. A lady asked me a question. Well, actually, my ex asked me a question. She said, "Why don't we put two lists together, and you tell me like what I've done wrong, and I'll tell you, and vice versa." So I wrote my list out. When we came back together to talk about it, I gave her my list, and she said, "Why does your list have nothing about what you on it? I asked you to ask me to put on it what I've done wrong."
Self-reflection.
I'm like, no. This is the situation. This is the problem. Okay, and that helped. I mean, she really didn't have anything else to say because it's the truth. I'm focusing on me. I can't look at you because that's going to bail me out.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
Good.
Hopefully that answers your question.
All right. So, Lawrence, my credit ain't that good, but I do co-sign on that. So, next person we want to ask is you. I want you to come on up. He said he got a comment.
I do have a comment. And my name is Yule, and good friends with Kia and Marcus. So that question resonated, hit me personally. I think as men, and I'm 54 years old, get ready to be 55. One of the things about us as men, we've never been taught in most situations how to heal or what healing even looks like. You go through these things. I was married once before. I'm married now in my second marriage. And one of the things in my first marriage, I was an asshole. I cheated. I did everything that a man could do wrong, because that's what I grew up seeing. And I think sometimes as women, when you guys go out and you meet men, you're feeling like, I don't know what I'm getting. So you have these walls up. As men, most of the time we've never been taught anything about healing. We don't know anything about nurturing. Women are born nurturers. We're not. And so I kind of say this to the men up there, and what I'm about to say is kind of get you to understand from our perspective. Sometimes we need you to help us. And a lot of times women nowadays don't have time for that. They feel they don't have time for that. But sometimes when you talk about submission, you talk about dedication and all these different things, sometimes when you decide you want to be in a relationship with a man, you got to really take some time to look at what he's got going on, how he's communicating with you, and you're almost like a mind reader, and if this man needs some healing, you got to do what you got to do to help him get there to be what he needs to be for you. If you see all the potential in him, then you got to help him, because none of us are perfect. And I think this forum is about, because from what I understand, we're talking to the women. So I wanted to kind of come in from that angle. As it relates to me, I had to learn how to be vulnerable. And the biggest problem with men today, men in the past, we were never taught anything about vulnerability. And, our angers, our insecurities, all those things are based in fear. You know, so if we're afraid, we can't communicate with you effectively. You know, so sometimes we need you to help us bring that out. That's not your responsibility, but if you see this man that you're into and you know he has all the qualities of a man that you want, then I'll ask you, is it worth it for you to dedicate yourself, to submit to helping this man be all he can be, how he can, you know, be more vulnerable so he can be a better person for you? You know, so that's my thought, you know. You know, vulnerability is a big thing for men. I read Brene Brown a lot, and that's some of the things that she talks about. So that's I just wanted to kind of put that out there. All right.
Appreciate you, Mr. Chevalier. Yeah. But you have to kind of give a legway or a lead up to my next question. Next question is for my panelists, and I think some of you ladies might want to know this yourself. What are the main reasons for infidelity in a relationship?
Number one question.
I mean, so she said, somebody in the audience said a great question. That is number one question for men and women. But since this is a male panel, we're gonna address it from the male's point of view. Later on to come, we'll get that one later on in the future forum.
So I'm gonna speak on that first. The reason why I did what I did because I wouldn't get what I needed at home. Like my guys say, you know, I'm the provider. I went out and and bust my tail to make sure that my household was straight. And the reason why I stepped out because I didn't feel like I was appreciated. I was working all these long hours and coming home at midnight. I'm coming home to nothing to eat. That's my biggest thing. If I'm out here all day every day, and I did this all through COVID, I'm sacrificing myself, my body, my temple to make sure my house was good. But then when I get home at midnight, I have nothing. And then when I ask why I don't have something to eat at midnight, it's, oh, well, you late for dinner.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you on that. So I'm gonna hit my next one. So Lawrence, you have a response for that question?
Oh wow.
Not to say no, hold on. Not to say you did committed infidelity, but what's your thoughts on it? We gonna put a little sugar on that one for you.
I think what people do, I think we ignore the obvious things. We always ignore the obvious things. I had a woman tell me the other day. She said, I like my man to be romantic. I love the romantic man. And so I asked her. I said, well, are you romantic? Uh-oh. And she said, well, why do I have to be romantic?
What?
I said, well, you said you desire a man to be romantic, and yet you yourself are not romantic.
So how can you expect it?
How can you expect something that you cannot give yourself? So sometimes what I said to say, I think I told her, I said, men have emotions just like women do. Okay, so we want to be held and do all those things and loved on just like a woman does. I think it goes this. People get complacent in relationships. That's the number one thing.
Man.
Become complacent. Yeah. You say, okay, you do all this stuff, this work to get the person, and you get them. Then all of a sudden you act like, well, I can't do that now. I can't do. You start setting boundaries and rules and all this stuff that should not even exist in a relationship. It's no big. If your man desires to be intimate with you, guess what? Why can't you be intimate with your man? Why can't you be? The more you say no to that situation, it's not going to change his desire to want to be intimate. After a while, it's going to change the desire to want to be intimate with you. You see what I mean? Yes. You don't control his emotions like that. But we try to do that. And my thing is that you should be giving all of yourself to the person that you're with. Why not? I asked a woman one time, if I have to ask you if I'm handsome, well, if you think I'm handsome, what do you think about me? See, already you think there's some problem right there. I'm asking you that. I may hear from 50 other women though, all the time. But you feel like it's okay for me not to tell you that. I don't want to blow your head up. I want you to feel this certain way. I don't want you to think too highly of yourself. Stuff like that.
Okay, I can appreciate that answer. So what we're gonna do, Mike, I'm gonna let you answer that question. Then we'll go to one person from the audience. Then we're gonna move on. Unfortunately, this is a time forum, and it can get away from you real quick.
Yeah.
And me, this is my first time, so it go quick. All right, so Mike, hit him with the reel.
I agree with what both of the gentlemen are saying. It is true. I will take it back just a little bit. Men and women were designed a certain way. And I'm not going to say a man is designed to cheat, but I will say a man is designed, his sexual desire is probably a lot higher than a woman's sexual desire. And I say that to say that it's kind of one of those things where you have to know your man and meet him where he is and understand that, we desire to have sex. And I'm not saying it's an excuse for a man to go and cheat on his wife because, again, I've been married 31 years. I've never cheated on my wife. And I can say that with 100% honesty. I have never cheated on my wife. But do I desire other women?
Because she's
have I seen
watching.
other women that I found attractive? And of course I have. I'm a man.
You're a man.
That desire doesn't change. But again, it's one of those things that we as men. We have to understand and control our desires, but the desire is always there. So I know you say we'll be short on time.
Go
so I ain't
ahead,
gonna-
Mike. We got you a couple seconds.
But that's kind of where it is. We're built differently. Than women. Women, you guys, based on your biology and how you were designed, you have to be very, very selective in who you choose to mate with, because when it goes down to it, you're looking for the best genes for your offsprings. So you are very, very selective on who you mate with, or at least you should be. But for a man, the way we were designed to spread our seed everywhere. And that's just part of what you want to call extinction insurance. And that's just the way we're designed. So that desire never leaves us. It's always there, but society says we have to control that
Right.
and be dedicated.
All right, so Mike, I'm gonna let you answer that question, but I'm gonna say this to you. If anybody have a response, please put it in comments. Especially we're gonna spread our seed everywhere. Cause I will post that later because
We do have a question. I want us to address the.
Hold up! Wait a minute.
I'm just being
Say it again. Preach it loud.
I want us to address the virtual people, and we do have a question virtually. And the question is, what happens if the man has low sex drive?
So unfortunately, that took your spot. But brother, please put me. So good. So we're gonna whoever wants to hit that one first, please hit that because I ain't got that problem, baby. I love you, baby. Hold on. So Jeff, so Keith, you want to answer that question?
I'm 40. And that's all I
Hold on a
love
second,
to do.
Jeff.
I love to do that.
All right, so you have an answer.
No.
Oh, so Lawrence, you have a answer that question?
So are we talking about something that's medical?
We're gonna say we don't know.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whatever the
Okay,
reason is.
so if you're talking about a low sex drive, we're talking about
Hold on, everybody.
men not being able to be intimate with the woman on a consistent basis.
Yeah, we're gonna say we can't get up on regular. We want to, it just ain't happening. We're gonna put it that way for right now.
Let's say it like this. There's got to be reasons for why that is.
Yeah.
It is a reason.
Reasons for why that is.
Listen,
Everybody get ready.
I don't believe in erectile dysfunction. I believe in relationship dysfunction, relations dysfunctions. if the woman is not pleasing her man, or if he's not attracted to her sexually, he's going to lose the desire. So then she's going to rush him to the doctor and say, what's wrong with my man? Well, she need to be seeking within her, and vice versa. And vice versa. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. If there's no sexual or physical attraction, then I'm not just talking about looking at your woman and say, damn, she beautiful. If she can't get you right sexually, you're going to lose the desire, and that don't mean nothing wrong because that don't mean nothing wrong with you. That just means that there's no desire. That's my belief. Right. I'm 52 years.
So she came back to clarify her question, and what she said, Jeff, was low sex drive. The woman wants it more than the man.
We'll get it. If you want, if that's your husband, if that's your man, if that's rape.
Yeah.
No. If the woman.
Jeff is promoting rape.
No, I'm not. Get out of here. Hold on. See. So I'm a biblical dude, and the Bible says that my body belongs to her and her body belongs to me. So if she wants it, get it. Take it. You can take it. There ain't no raping. The bedroom is undefiled. I can keep going. The bedroom is undefiled. So that means that if she wants to rape her man, or if he wants to rape his woman, or his wife and husband, not woman. It's
rape.
Right. Yeah, but you use a different word. You're right. Take it. It belongs to you. Right. It's yours.
When you're married.
When you're married, your body, in the marriage you become one. So if I become one with my wife, that's mine. How many people married? You rub on your wife booty all the time. I'm just saying, slap that thing, slap it. She might do the same thing to you. It's hers. She can do that. It's yours. You can do that. I mean, it's no erectile dysfunction is I believe because people lose interest in the person. It's up here.
That's where ED come from. Yeah. That's so detached. We lose each other here.
All right.
Where that comes from. We lose it here.
Boy, that was gonna be a good one.
That's where it comes from. It comes from here. Yeah. If you can't stimulate here,
I don't know.
What we doing?
Low T could fuck you up. We're gonna say that. So if you need it, get it. Satisfy your woman. I guarantee, like Justin Wilson used to say, I guarantee that you get that, you get it right, your life will get right. So we're gonna leave it at that. So this, cause we're gonna know 30 minutes on that one. So I'm gonna choose. We ain't gonna make it to the basket. I'm gonna let y'all know. So this is a good one. I personally like this one. Why is there a double standard when it comes to a male's body count and the number of kids? What I mean by that is, when it comes to a man, it's the conquest. I done knocked down all these broads. But I ain't gonna mess with a woman who got 2 or 3 kids because I just can't deal with all that. But now you got 5, but I'm a good catch. What's your problem? So who? So who wanna go first? I'm gonna open it up. Keith, go ahead. Preach it on Keith.
I'm not opposed to dating anybody with kids because I love kids because I'm a big kid.
Toes R Us, right on.
I'm not opposed to dating a woman that has kids because I am a kid. I'm a big kid. I love to do all the crazy and fun things that mother, excuse me, won't do. I took my 6-year-old grandkid skydiving. Something his mama's gonna never do. That's all I got.
I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I go to the bounce house.
Yeah, I'm too big for the bounce house. So Mike, so you married one, so it might be kind of a little different for you. But let's hear your aspect on it.
Again, I mean, I guess my take on it is a little bit different because again, I'm going back to the biology of a man and woman and how we are designed. And the reason why men will look at a woman as far as her body count and whether she have kids or not, because it kind of goes back to with a woman or with a man, we want to make sure that when we're with a woman that child belongs to us.
Yes.
And with if you with a woman who is you perceive as infidelity, or she's out there in the streets or however you want to count it with a high body count, you're not always sure, or there may be some doubt if that child belongs to you. And in my opinion, that's one of the greatest fears for a man is you're going to raise another man's child. I mean, most men, not all, but most men don't want to invest their time, effort, and resources in a child that doesn't belong to them. I'm not saying you can't do it or you won't do it, but most men don't want to. They will prefer to provide all that energy into their own lineage.
Yes.
And and so with the man, again, it kind of goes back to biology, where most men, the way we were designed to fertilize and spread our seed. I mean, it's a double standard. I know it is, but that's just the way our biology is designed. And and you can't get away from that.
I just got a question. Men and women have children. Is a man's responsibility to raise children? I mean, because I've been through what you're saying, and when you get with a woman, if you like the woman, if you care about the woman, you got to care about the kids too.
Absolutely.
So it's a package deal. So hold on 1 second. So when you as a man, you do man things, and there's a woman with 3 kids, and you got 3 kids, and you get with her, and the fathers are not in them kids' life. It's your responsibility to be a father if you want to be a husband.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I would agree with you 100%. That is true. If you choose to get with a woman who has kids, you have to choose those kids as well.
Yes, sir.
It's a package deal.
Yes.
I 100% agree with that. What I'm talking about is if you are in a situation where most men, if you have a choice, I can date a woman who has several kids, or I can date a woman who's single. Most men will choose a woman who don't have any kids. Right. That way they can have kids of their own and create their own lineage. Right. But if and you don't have to spend your resources on someone else's. But if you choose to be with that woman, you choose. It's a package deal. You have to choose the kids as well, and that's a package deal.
Hold on.
Yeah, you can.
Right, but I'm not saying you can't, but the most men, given that choice, they want to choose a woman who don't. They want to choose a woman who don't have kids.
All right. So,
but will they take them with them? Yes. But that's not, if given the preference, they will want to choose and have their own.
So okay. So once again, I got you, Lawrence. I'm coming to you. I promise. So with that, there's a whole other conversation. Like I said, everything leads to more conversation, and we will address that in the future. I promise. So Lawrence, my faith man, elaborate.
I think it's immaturity. That's what I think. I mean, obviously, whoever thinks that way does not understand life the way it goes. I mean, at a certain age, most women are going to have children. That's just natural. I don't ask those type of questions. I don't care to know about your past in that way. I don't care to know about your body count. What we talking about here?
Exactly.
How immature is that? I don't care if a man asks you about your body count. I would question that man about his.
I agree.
Right.
Why is that important to you?
I agree with you.
Why is that important to you? Please explain why that is important to you.
Real grown.
That's we grown people here. I can care less about that. Yeah. Your past is your past. But right then, at that moment, you're with me right now.
Yeah.
Present.
In the present, and that's what my focus is. I live in the moment. I don't live in the mirror. You just said, I live in the moment. I don't live in the mirror. It's simple as that.
I'll give you a snap on that, bro. All right. All right, Mr. Poet. So, all right.
You can do a poem on that.
So let me say something real quick, everybody. So we had scheduled for only so many hours, but I was just informed that shit can go out the window. If y'all willing to stay, we willing to talk. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you have to go, go. If you don't want to stay, let's stay. We're gonna extend it a little bit longer and get it out there. So I'm gonna get two comments. I'm gonna get one from my man Rick. Then I'm gonna get one from my Mr. Chevalier. And we're gonna keep me like, yo, I'm gonna ride that Chevalier out. I don't give you. Hey, you can't kick me off my forum. So Rick, you ready? Step up to the mic, my man.
Marcus.
All right.
Before you step on, I
okay,
want
go
to
ahead.
say one thing, and I heard what you said, and everybody has their own opinion about things, and I will never, want to put you in a bad spot or whatever, but I would say this when you're talking about a woman's body count and what a man desires. Is it the same thing when you are vetting a woman that you want to start a relationship with and potentially marry? So are you trying to tell me that if you come across several women and one has a low body count, and I'm just going to throw out an arbitrary number, I'm going to say 10, and another woman has another body count and say she's been with 50 men, are you trying to say that number doesn't matter to you at all?
I'm answering this question with a question.
Okay, go ahead. I like this.
How would I know that?
Well, a lot of times you can know. I mean,
how would I know that?
Well, I mean, I think. Well,
how would you know that?
You may not know
because I would have
I hear you.
ask somebody that that means I'm looking to see the difference between you and you and you. I'm saying I would never ask that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because to me that's immature.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like why would you concerned about somebody's? It's like if you got a body count yourself, how could you judge what she? How could you do that?
Okay. I'll take that.
Your body count is.
Come on.
All right. So
So if you dated 50 women in your life and she only dated 10, what's the problem?
all right, I got you. I hear it.
That's how I see it.
All right, so I'm gonna let you come
I will
up.
agree to disagree.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you come up. But before you step up, I'm gonna say two things.
Got you.
In open transparency, I got you, sis. So I'm gonna say two things. One, that goes a question about body count. I ain't asking that question because one, two. I'm gonna tell you why I asked that question. I'm gonna tell you what question because that goes along with me getting my feelings hurt when I ask the stupid question. Do you know what the stupid question is? Am I the best you ever had? I don't want to set myself on failure. We didn't answer that question. So two, all right. And the second question, the second thing I'm gonna say to that, everybody, Mike knows me. Mike knows me for several years. And Kia knows me because she's my lady, and I have to be transparent. I have no biological kids. I have zero biological kids. I have not left a seed anywhere. But my ex-wife, stepkids, and Mike will tell you, I treat them like my own.
And a dog. And a dog.
My dog is a dog. I treat them like my own. And my stepdaughter, which I don't say too often because I go back to
That's your daughter.
my daughter.
That's your daughter. It's not a
But my daughter.
That's your daughter.
One of the things it kind of got me because I'm not very expressive. When she went to her first dance, and I had to meet the dude she was to, they called me. And and then when she went, they called me to see her in her dress that she did, and it kind of hit me in a certain way.
Because your dad.
Your dad, and it kind of like or we go out to the movies. Or which we gotta do now. We make Christmas cookies together, so that hits me in a certain type of way. I don't get emotional. I never show emotion for real. But that's my baby. So I do treat her as my own.
Because she's yours.
Right, she's yours. So when I do my insurance for
She's on there.
for my death. She on there.
Because she's yours.
I don't give a shit.
That's what you're supposed to do.
So
Good people.
you treat so biological and step can be one and the same to an extent. Oh, non-biological, yes. All right. So come on up here, you.
So, I got a couple thoughts. First of all, to that point, my first marriage, my first wife had a daughter that was 2 years old. She never knew her dad. I knew her dad. She never knew her dad. When I married my first wife, before I married her, I went to him, even though he wasn't in the picture. I said, "Hey, look here. She's gonna be with me. When the time comes that you decide you want to be a dad or you want to have a relationship with her, you got to come through me, because I'm putting in everything that I got with this little one." When me and my wife had our son, who is my oldest son, who's 19, 20 years old now, she's 30 years old now. She's in the military. She's a lesbian woman that's married in the Army. She's mine. Can't nobody say nothing to me, can't tell me nothing different. If you look at her to this very day, she'll tell you the same thing. That's my dad. She has a relationship with her biological father, and I personally was glad that she had that, because there was things that she needed to know. But as a man, when you take on a woman, if she got kids, for me personally, all that bullshit's out the door. We being raw, right? So all that bullshit's out the door. As for her body count, you can tell me if you want to tell me, or not tell me if you want to tell me, because I believe in me. I know what I'm working with. It doesn't, I'm just being 100. It doesn't, and we can be right? Because this is you, Chevalier. This is how I am. Kid and them know it. I'm going to give you all I got. If that ain't enough for you, you tell me so I can do something different. If you can't say what you need in the bedroom, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
Well, I don't want you guys to take what I'm saying the wrong way, but I put it in these terms. If you have a son and he's 16, 17, and he's dating a girl, and and that this girl is being passed around town, are you going to, encourage your son to continue seeing that girl, or if he has another option with another girl who may not be? And I'm not trying to pass moral judgment on this girl or not, but what I'm saying is, given the option, you would want the best for your son, and you would want the best for your son, and you would try to steer them. You know what? I know the lifestyle this girl lives, or if she's that type of girl or whatever, you would want to steer him a different direction.
So
I would. Me personally, I would. Now you guys may do something different, but I would want to steer my son a different direction.
On top of that, what this young lady right here said, these two, you passing judgment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we all do.
No.
Whether you believe it or not, we all do. To some.
Judgment, sir.
Okay. Yes, I probably am.
Come on to the mic, Keith.
Somebody close to one get to him. All right. So say it again, Keith.
So we say judgment, right? Ma'am. So we say judgment. I get what you're saying. And again, I don't talk. I listen. What these two young ladies said, that's just like if y'all knew she was doing something, will y'all still be her friend? Or are y'all gonna pass judgment on what she's doing and she's with him? That's all I'm saying. Me personally,
But you're still gonna be our
what say it again.
You're still gonna be our friend.
So wait.
I would like to answer that. I have two
You're still
sons,
gonna be
so
cute.
when you get a moment, I want to.
Okay, hold on. So hold on, everybody. So everybody chill out for a second. Unfortunately, this forum only has so many mics. So what we're gonna do real quick, I gotta kind of bring it in, and this is a hell of a topic. We could spend a whole topic on this. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish the second part. I'm gonna let Jeff get it, and I'm gonna let Sherry do her thing. We're gonna move on because damn it, I love this, and I love grown folks doing grown folks things, talking in a to date the firm and real plug. But anyway, but this is what we're gonna do. So come on, you. We're gonna keep it right on.
All right, so I'm gonna try to make this real quick. Here's the thing.
We going on YouTube.
Okay,
and
I just want to
let y'all know.
I just want to make sure.
Follow our YouTube
I just want to
page.
make sure.
Date Affirm the Real.
Date Affirm the Real. Follow the YouTube.
Chips.
Hey, this is some real shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so my brother, I respect you.
Okay.
You've been married 31 years, so I can see your perspective on the different things that you're talking about. Me, I've been single, I've been married, I've been single, and now I'm married again. I was a hoe. I was a hoe. I don't know if I was a good one, but I was good to me. Check this out. So, on the thing about the body count.
Love it.
On the thing about the body count and what you said about what I would teach my sons. So, short history. That first marriage, I got the stepdaughter, I got my son. The second marriage, I got two stepsons. I got two. No, they're not my sons.
I know.
But they're my sons.
Yes.
I raise them. Their dad is in the picture. He comes to my home openly when he wants because his kids live there. We got that understanding. I have no problem with that. We work together to raise men.
Yes, sir.
Here's my thing about the body count thing. I really don't. I don't want my sons judging women. I don't. My mother was a single woman, and my mother had dudes, pretty light-skinned girls. She had dudes, and growing up as a man, I had to see some of this shit. Now I didn't like it. If it made me feel uncomfortable, but as I became a man, I came to understand that women do what women do the same way we do. It's not for me to judge, because let me tell you something, man. In my single life, I've met a lot of women that's had high body counts that have pleased me way more than the girl that you thought was the good girl. But on the flip side, there's a whole lot of women out there, I don't mean no disrespect, that promote themselves as good girls. They will fuck you 6 ways from Sunday. I'm being honest. They will do all the stuff that you would think was non-virtuous. Whatever you think about it, they gonna do it. And am I wrong? So what I'm saying is sometimes you have to take that person for who they are for you. Whether she's got a high body count or not doesn't matter. Benefit from the body count. That's how I'm being honest, benefit, because women are tasked with having to deal with our high body counts, and it's cool. It doesn't fuck with my thing as a man, my pride as a man, because I'm dating a woman that might have had sex with 6 dudes before she met me. That's not my thing. It doesn't matter. She can do her own thing, but what we got together is what's important. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It starts fresh.
All right, so what we're gonna do real quick. So real quick, before we move to the next one, because I love the next couple of questions I have. We got one virtual question. I'm gonna let Kia take over. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, so we got a virtual question. This virtual question comes from Corey, Rodney's wife. She at home watching, and her question is, what if that girl is the one he loves? What's to say that he is the person designed for her? So you're saying she can't change and she doesn't deserve love at some point in life? You never know a person's background. Maybe she was never shown how to be loved properly, but your son was the one to show her. If being passed around is a qualifier for deserving love, then a lot of men will be disqualified based on body count. So what y'all got to say? Because Rodney, your wife asked that question. That's my sis.
And I'm not saying that is the only qualifier when you're looking for a spouse, because what I'm talking about is trying to find a wife. And I'm not saying her body count is the only qualifier. There are other factors that goes into it. But most men, one of the things that we value in women, we value their virtue. And you can't get around that. I mean, you can say it don't matter, but it does matter. I mean, I'm not saying it is the only factor, but it is a factor. That's just how I see things. I mean, obviously, you guys can disagree if you want to and say it doesn't matter. But, men, I believe most men value the virtue of a woman. Now, like I said before, that doesn't mean that is the only factor, but that is a factor.
Okay. All right. Hey, that was a good one, right? Everybody agree?
That was good.
Keith. Okay. All right. All right. So this next one, I know, Lawrence. I know you're going to enjoy this one. So the question is, what do you think about a woman pursuing a man?
That's a good question.
So, pursuing that man. So I'm gonna get that man. I'm gonna do what it takes to get that man. Wait, I'm gonna ask him. I may ask him to marry me. What you think about that?
I don't think anything's wrong with it.
Yeah. Nope, not at all.
I mean, who doesn't
I got you.
Who doesn't want a confident woman? Oh. What kind of man doesn't want a confident woman? I'm just asking. I love confident women. You know what you want. There's nothing there's no gray area. You can come to a man, you can tell him, hey, look, I think that you're a handsome guy. I think that, let's talk. What's wrong with it? I'm just saying, what's wrong with it? It's communication. Communication. It's energy. It's vibes to it. We can go from a spiritual standpoint and say the Bible says he who finds that woman. But look, sometimes it also the Bible works. First of all, God works in mysterious ways. Sometimes that man does not have the confidence to approach that woman.
Okay.
And so God sends that woman to approach that man.
All right.
God didn't send no woman to approach no man.
Because
God ain't never sent no woman to approach no man.
I got he chomping their bits. He chomping.
Well,
piranha ready. So go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and say your piece.
What I would say this. I mean, you say God didn't send a woman to approach a man, and that may be true, but in my case, because everybody is a little bit different, my wife asked to marry me. We dated for about a year, but when it came down to it, when I was about to join the military and whatever, she asked, what are we going to do? Are we getting married or not? I mean, she literally asked to marry me. Had she not asked me, would I have asked her instead? I probably would have, but it would have been a little bit later. It wouldn't have been right away. But, but when it came down to it, she asked me if I would marry her.
Okay. So real quick, Keith, you got anything to comment on that one? All right, so keep pass. Go ahead, Jeff.
Listen. All right, everybody. So Keith told y'all a little bit about me. So we're not gonna go that far into it. But from experience, from a player's experience, a woman that chooses a man is setting herself up to be hurt 100% of the time. 100%. Let's say 99.99.
There you go. I'm that point one.
The thing about it is, we can go biblically, we can go, but every time a woman chooses a man, she sets herself up to be hurt. A woman walk up to a man and say, "Excuse me, can I buy you a drink?" He already know what's going on later. Right. The door wide open for everything and anything. And when she does that, and the man accepts that drink, in the back of a man's mind, player or non-player, I know exactly what I'm going to do right now. Me and her going home, we going to do whatever. I can do whatever I want to do to this woman because she has opened the door to be crushed.
Well, let me say
so wait, I want to say this because somebody virtually just said, but you want submission. I'm confused.
No, don't be confused.
I'm telling you what somebody on virtual just said.
Okay.
She said, but you want submission. I'm confused. So elaborate.
Okay.
Brother.
So submission don't come with a woman pursuing a man. Yep. Submission comes with a woman being ready to submit to the man that finds her. Yeah. So let's. Everybody got their own opinion about what's being said or how it's being said. The definition, the Webster definition of submission and the biblical definition of submission, two different things. And we talking about submission. Everybody that uses the word submission has got it from Scripture.
Yes.
They got it from Scripture. They didn't get it, and nobody else at school, in the high school, middle school, told you to submit to your husband or use the word submission. So we ain't nobody forget about what they taught you or what the dictionary says. We're talking about the biblical version of the word submission. So if I want a woman to be submissive to me, she has to already be submissive to me, be submissive when I find her.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So her approaching me does not show me submission.
Right.
Her approaching me, like you said, shows her that she wants the guy. And whatever that guy decides to do to her, she set herself up for it. In fact, she wants him to shit on her. Unconsciously.
Can I just say this real quick? So one thing I never do is what I don't put God in the box and say something can't happen, right? I don't do that. So it was Ruth that gleaned in the field. Her actions brought the man to her, right? She was in position. Listen to what I'm saying. She was in position. So that man can make contact.
But positioning is
keep brief, brother.
Is positioning pursuit.
Position is communication.
Positioning is, again, I said this, you weren't here when I said this. Ruth was doing exactly what God told her to do.
Exactly. That's the whole.
But that's not her pursuing though. That's not her.
In other words, had not that happened, would Boaz been there to meet her? Answer the question.
No. If she was disobedient to God, her and Boaz would never met.
What I'm trying to say is that
hold on, we get a little too biblical because I can't follow shit. All right, so I can't meet it, but I can't follow. No, I'm here. So hold on, everybody. We're gonna get one brief comment. We're gonna move on to Rodney, which unfortunately, I understand. Unfortunately, maybe rephrase that. We don't know. Y'all don't know Rodney's background, but I do. So, but go ahead, say one brief because you're my host.
But Ruth is not pursuing her, and what she's doing in the field is not pursuit. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing, and she's in position.
I get
Guess who she was submissive to? God.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is that, so just think about this. God worked that situation.
But they're still not.
All right.
Now
All right. So guys, so what we're gonna do? When we end this, I'm really thinking about just letting the cameras roll.
Yes.
We're letting the cameras roll, and we'll let. And this is so those who choose to extend can watch. But for those who could follow, cause heck. So Rodney, come on up. I know Rodney we'll get one more, then we'll keep moving.
First of all, again, Marcus, Kia, this is a great thing, and I know Jeff just went into hiding for a moment. Not hiding, but he's behind the scenes. But I feel like me and Jeff have a kindred spirit. And I just want to say this to everybody that's here today. When it comes to these relationships we're talking about, if you don't have God in it, it ain't going to work no way. You can't dismiss it. God has to be at the forefront of it all. He has to be. There is no other way around it. The reason why we're in the situation we're in now with relationships is because we excluded him. We took him out of it. We put him to the side. And now it's wreaking havoc on us. Relationships don't work. Listen, I thank you for saying it. I'm going to say it. I don't tell this to everybody, but transparency is the key to learning. I've been married 4 times. 4 times. And my mother told me something, and I didn't listen to her. I thought she was crazy. She said, son, you don't have no stickability. And I said, Mom, is that even a word?
Stickability. I like that.
But what I learned was she just meant you got to learn how to hang in there.
Yeah.
Trust God to help you out. That's what it takes. Men, we got to trust God. Ladies, you got to trust God. If you're going to be submissive, you can't do it by yourself. You got to trust God.
Yes.
That's the way it works. I mean, that's all I wanted to say is if relationships are going to work, you got to trust God.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, Rodney. So I can't follow it up too well, but so what I'm going to say is we can won't keep going. And what I want everybody who's watching, everybody who is in attendance, pass this on. Because when you have something good like this, you say is good, that's right. Pass it on. Yeah. When it's good, we do more. Yes. And when we do more, we do better. Yes. All right? So this is a great one. You about to say something, baby?
And I want to say, I always say this because I'm a speaker. Eat the fish and throw away the bones. I say it every time. Eat the fish. And I didn't lead with this, and I always lead with this. Every time I speak, don't I say this? Yeah. Eat the fish and throw away the bones. Yeah. What's applicable to you, take it. Yep. Eat that shit. Yep. Absorb it. And if it don't belong, throw it away. But guess what? It's already penetrated your spirit. Right. It's already in your soul. Yeah. Let it do what it does. So let it do what it does. Let it absorb in your spirit. And if it doesn't pick up today, it's going to pick up. Yeah. Because we were born to love and be loved. And a lot of us are in resistance. Let's talk about this. A lot of us, before we move to the next question, a lot of us are in resistance of that. We try to say, I don't need no love. I don't want no love. I ain't got to have no love. I'm good by myself. You a fucking lie. And I'm going to call you out. You're a lie. We were made to love, and we were made to be loved. So when you get done with all of that, you are meant to be loved and love. Do it in a healthy way. This is what this whole forum is about. This is why we created this, because I'm not getting ready to lie to nobody. I'm not getting ready to tell a damn lie. I was created to love and to love. And all you have to do is get the right person. Yeah. That's it. Trust me when I tell y'all this, because I was in a whole bunch, I told y'all in the beginning, I was in a bunch of situationships. That led me to a place where, literally, when I got with this man, I was like, here I was thinking I had love before. I thought I was like doing some things. I wasn't doing shit. But in a situationship with people. But when somebody opens their whole entire heart to you and really reveals everything to you, that's love. The good, the bad, and everything in between. That's right. That's love. And we have to stop being resistant to that. And we have to stop being hard. We have to stop saying we don't need that. We don't require that. And stop dealing with low budget shit. And I'm going to say it. Y'all out here dealing with low budget shit and y'all good with it. Well, he give me 2 minutes of his time. She give me 2 minutes of her time. That's not love. When somebody is consistent, when somebody is really pursuing you, right? This man pursued me. I know what pursue looks like. I know what submissive looks like. I know what, you know what, Kia? You ain't got to run nothing. I have been so used to running things and controlling things, I let that go. Our first date, he texted me reservations. This is where we're going at this time. And when I told him what I wanted off the menu, he ordered it for me. My man. And when we go out to eat, he asks me, what do you want? I tell him, I never have to open my mouth. That's submissive. I don't have to open my mouth.
I love you, Keith.
When he makes decisions, he says, this is what we're doing. And it's final for me.
Yes.
Hold on,
it's
baby.
Final.
Let me we're gonna get too much into this, but I'm gonna say something. You know, everybody who knows me, I'm private. Yeah. So I'm gonna say something. You can't. One thing we're gonna do with this forum, it's a discussion, not necessarily. It's not advice. This is I'm like I just told her, like I tell her, it's funny. We have something called 4 o'clock in the morning bloopers, where we wake up in the morning 4 o'clock in the morning in the bed just joking about stuff. So it's our 4 o'clock in the morning bloopers. But one thing I told her today is, we're not the standard. Everything's not a standard, or the standard is not absolute. That's what I told her. The standard is not absolute. What works for everybody else may not work for you. So don't take what everybody else is doing and think that's the absolute. No.
Grasshopper.
Right. So
grasshopper, get them.
Because whatever works for 5 people may not work for the 6th. That's right. And this is where you have to be confident in yourself and everything that you learned in life. Life prepares you. My previous relationships, my divorce, my people that I talk to every day. Hell, me coming smoking this cigar in this damn barbershop prepared me for a better relationship. But we ain't gonna keep on that. We're gonna keep this shit going.
Yeah. Yes.
So he going a good question, and I'm still this ain't but the 5th question. But I like this question though. Yeah, you ready? All right. Why are men fixated with augmentations such as butt implants?
What?
We're not.
Yeah. You know why are men fixated with implants like titties, ass, the fake stuff?
We're not.
I think Lawrence has an answer. He just said it.
Go ahead, Lawrence. Go ahead.
I don't think it's men. I think it's women.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally
Hold on, I got you,
agree
Jeff.
with you. I agree with you too.
So Lawrence says it's women. So Mike, what you say?
Well, I don't really think men. Again, I believe most men like a natural woman. I think women do those augmentations looking for validation or whatever it may be. I don't know, but most men, me in particular, we like a natural woman. We know your own curves, your own hair, your own look. I mean, now we may look at a woman that may have implants. It may be sexually desirable for that moment, but it may not be what you want in a mate. So, but there's a difference. Having sex with someone and want to marry someone, it can be 2 completely different things. So, sexually, do we, like a woman with a big butt? Yeah, I mean, but it's only for sex. But do I want that as my wife to have augmentations and, and whatever else, and lip implants, injections, and all that? No. I'm speaking for me now. I don't like that, and I believe most men don't like that. We want a natural woman.
All right.
I'm not.
Keith, what you got?
No, I don't want it.
All right, so Keith say he don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't
there's nice had fantasies in that.
That's
But,
the
here
YouTube
comes, come on up here,
stuff.
Jeff.
Yeah, that's
so
the YouTube,
what I like to say
IG
is,
models, all that,
real
yeah.
quick, for me personally, I'll be transparent. Every woman I deal with or dealt with, there's something unique or something about them that I fixate on.
Yeah.
If it's their conversation, their legs, or just the way they think, way they handle business, that's what I fall for. So it's not. So don't give me an artificial.
I don't get it.
Give me the real. All right, go ahead, Jeff.
So the question was, why are men fixated on it? I got this. I'm the cameraman, ain't I?
You ain't on camera though.
You ain't got the.
Fuck wrong with you? Go on, sit down, sis. Go sit down, sis. What's happening? Move.
I got a virtual question after you.
Hold on. I gotta protect my meat. Keep on.
Anyway, the thing is that the men are not fixated on it, but it was the men's fault that the women do it. Women do it. Women for the same. Men go to the strip joint, and so the women.
Going there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The men will go to the strip joint, or they like them women with big butts, and they like to see it visually.
Yeah. Yes.
Women think that's what we want.
Yeah, right.
So they run out and go get it in the thought of, I'm gonna get a man because that's what men want. So it's our fault as a man because we make women think that that's what we like. Not all men. Not all men. All men don't think like that. I don't give a fuck how big your ass and titties is, unless I'm just trying to hit something.
I would disagree. You say it's men's fault. I think men are visual. And we gonna look at a woman and we like the curves or whatever, but again, what are we liking it for?
For sexual purposes.
For
sexual purposes.
But now when you
But we don't say that to them.
But
we don't say that. We don't say, "Oh, girl, I like that. I just want to hit."
But from a man perspective, when you're trying to have sex, you don't always tell the truth. You tell a woman what a woman wants to hear because you want sex. So you're not going to tell the truth, because if you tell the truth, you're not going to get sex.
That's real. That's real. But when we talking about visual things, when we want to have sex, we want to have sex with what we see. And if it look good, if it got big butt, big breasts, we want that. Period. We just want to have sex with it. Now there are some idiots that want to marry that, and they think that that's what's good because they want arm candy. Yeah. Again, it's a visual thing. They think me and her gonna be good together because she look good.
Yeah, and you mentioned too, and you go into a strip club, you looking visually at these women, you may even want to have sex with those women, but you ain't trying to marry them.
No,
but you're not.
Some do.
Well, I mean, but the exception don't make the rule, though. I mean, that is a small percentage of men that go to a strip club and want to marry the woman in a strip club. That's not the masses of men.
No,
we may want to go
right.
and watch and visually be, stimulated. You may even want to have sex with them, but you ain't trying to marry them. You're not.
Yeah, no, you're not trying to marry them. But women think that. But because we give the impression that is the shit, and that is exactly.
Can I say this? You're right about that. There's two sides to that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's women competing with women.
Yep.
Yeah. But again, why do women compete with women?
Yeah.
Because of the man.
Because the reality of it, and that's why I said it's a twofold to that.
Yeah.
Because they feel like the woman with this or that gets more of the attention.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now they want it.
With the other woman to be like in the forefront.
But,
that's all this is about.
But she's getting the attention, but what kind of attention is she getting? Is she getting the right kind of attention?
No.
And so when other women see that and they try to emulate and do what she's doing because she wants that attention, but she's getting the wrong type of attention. She's just getting sexual attention. She's not getting attentions, for marriage or for something virtuous and for something, it's just strictly sexual, and that's it.
That's it. So in saying that, again, it goes back to the point I made. They don't do it because they want to do it. They do it because they think that's what we want. That's what we want.
Ask us, and we'll tell you.
Yeah. If my girl say, "Baby, you think you want me to have some bigger titties?" No, you good. Well, I didn't ask you. If I wanted some bigger titties, I'd have got with a woman with big titties.
Now, but on the flip side of that, when you do ask us, like I said before, men will lie to get what they want, because if they think that's what you want to hear, we gonna tell you what we think you want to hear if that's gonna lead to sex.
Right.
And so, and you may go with that and run with it. Well, if you like a big butt, well, I'm gonna give you a big butt, and you're gonna get this huge. And then, of course, now you just went too far with it, and it just way, So again, you have to ask yourself, what is the attention you're trying to get, and what is it for, and on the men perspective, we're looking for sex.
Right. And real, I say this all the time. Real men don't care what the woman look like.
That's what I'm saying.
We care what the woman thinking about. What's on your mind?
And for me, what's most important is how a woman makes me feel.
Right.
Regardless of what she looks like, is how you make me feel. If you make me feel like a man, if you make me feel like I'm important, if you make me feel masculine, that's what I desire. But if you come at me in a different light and you want to be the masculine one and you want to be the assertive one, you put me in an inferior position. I don't like that. And I believe most men don't like that. And so it's all about how you make me feel. If you make me feel the right way, I'll give you the world.
So that's good. That really is good, because I do believe, and I've said this so many times, women are doing all these changes. They're making all these changes for themselves. It has nothing to do with the man. It has everything to do with what they feel about themselves, how they look at other women, and the competition and all of that. So we got a question virtually, and I wanna address it. And this is a separate conversation, y'all. If you're legally separated but still married, is it right to pursue a single woman who wants a commitment right then?
No.
Or should you leave her alone?
No, leave her alone.
Everybody said, oh shit, everybody agreed.
Repeat that one more time. Repeat that question one more time.
Okay, one more time, I'm going to repeat the question. If you're legally separated but still married, is it right? Woman. The woman. This is a woman that asked the question. If you're legally married but you're legally separated, is it still right to pursue a woman?
No. Here's the question she should have asked. Because legally separated means you're still married.
Still married.
Yeah. So you ain't got no business. Nobody legally is only by the law.
Yeah.
Jeff, can you come up here, please?
All right, so before you go with this, now, I just took a break, so I'm gonna tell you my story. I got separated. Don't come on back. Right? I'll talk short.
No, you got it.
Yeah. So what happens is, I was separated. I was going through my divorce. We moved out, and what we do, we get complacent while getting all the shit finalized, and we'd go do what we do. Oh, but what we do is tell a woman, I'm divorced. But what happens? You ask that man, where's the question? Did you do your paperwork? And a lady I was dealing with, she asked me a question. I'm like, no, I'm divorced. She's like, no. And she made me, and because of her, she made me get off my ass, go to that courthouse, file that paperwork. When I did it, because she had started talking to me for like a week.
Yep.
And finally we got back talking. She said, did you file it? I said, yeah. And I said, when you go to court? I checked when I go to court. Yeah. And I said, in July sometime. She didn't ask me nothing about it. But because I wanted to pursue her, when I went to court that day and I finished and I got it stamped, I told her, you know what she said to me? I ain't forget. I'm going to wait till you see. I'm going to see if you tell me about it.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, it does make a difference. And it should. Yeah. Come on, Jeff.
People do this marriage. First of all, marriage is a commitment to God. Forget about all the paperwork. And so when you're married, you're married. And when you're divorced, you're divorced. When you're separated, and you decide to go out and do other things with other people, and then you decide that this thing that you're doing is not what you want to do. Now you still got an opportunity to go back to your spouse. Now you done hurt somebody else's feelings and messed up somebody else's life because they thought you was going to get divorced, and you ain't getting divorced. To get divorced first, then get pursue. Or how about this? Don't get divorced at all. Because what's the number in our community is bigger than anybody else's community. We also smaller than anybody else, but it makes sense it's better to stay in the marriage. I've been married 4 times, and I mean, and I'm saying that, I'm only saying this because I understand what's hard and what's easy. And it's easier to stay in what you're in than to get back out here to try to find something else. Because I think everybody in here is at least over 40. Yeah, I'm 52. It don't. You said you're not?
I have 2 months left.
No, you got 2 months off. You there. But it's not fair to the other person to get married. I dated a young, my last wife was married for 16 years. And we started dating and she was, I'm gonna get divorced, And same thing, I left her alone. I was like, nah, I'm cool. Cause I'm not gonna play all these games. It's too many games come with it. Well, I'm not playing games, Well, I don't know that because you ain't said you wanted to get divorced. You just said that y'all legally separated. But you're still married. Legally separated is still married, period.
Right.
Period.
Yeah,
Sharon,
you just
Sharon
moved
got
out.
a question.
hold on.
Can Sharon answer?
Did Sharon have a question?
Yes.
You know, I will stop this whole forum for you, Sharon. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Come on up. Hey, the spirit. Yeah. To me, spirit's a hell out.
I don't drive spirit. Okay, so not to really get this so much caught up in like a woman's perspective, but really to kind of lead into asking the men. So from a woman's perspective, the 20-year-old me, and I'm going to say I'm doing air quotes because it pertains to this stereotypical, unrealistic, artificial list of women. So the 20-year-old list will, for a woman would look like, oh, you know, I want this kind of man based off what he looks like. He got to be a certain height. He got to make a certain amount of money. He got to, you know, all this unrealistic things. And I could say the 20-year-old me versus the 47-year-old me right now, it comes at a level of maturity. So, you know, all those things that I thought mattered don't even matter no more. You know, it's about like things that you value, your morals, how a person makes you feel. So, from a man's perspective, can you honestly say, like, when you were, let's say, 25, and you had a list, maybe you didn't write it down, but it's up here. Can you say that you've matured from what you feel like you thought you wanted versus what you need in a woman?
So that's a all right, hold on everybody, hold on. So that's a timeout. So that's a hell of a question. And be honest with you, that is a question that's been brought up a lot. So we're gonna address this a couple of ways. One, as a male who's single, do you have a certain list? And two, what do you think about women who have that list and you don't meet that list? What do you think about women who have that list, period? How about that? So, I'm going to start with you, Keith. Do you have a list of what your future woman should bring to the table or how she should be made up, whatever? Talk to me.
Not necessarily, man. You know, I used to be physical. What you look like, what you smell like, how you were shaped. Yes. In my 20-year-old. 20 years later, I'm 40. Again, I'm gonna go back to what I said. I'm ready for love. I'm ready to love somebody wholeheartedly and to be loved in the same unconditional way that I'm gonna love that person.
All right, so I'm gonna throw a little twist on that just for you. She does everything you ask, but she is, I'm gonna go extreme. One eye, 3 fingers, ain't got no ass. Would you be willing to accept her?
Inside joke. Again, I'm standing on what I stand on. I'm ready to love wholeheartedly, and I want the same thing in reverse.
Okay, I got you. So, Lawrence, no matter what, unconditionally.
So she can be 500 pounds.
Right. So, Lawrence, I'm gonna come to you last because reason I'm coming to you last because you're single as well as Keith, but you're single and you're looking for certain things. So I'm gonna go to Mike. Mike was married, so he went through certain things. He progressed through a certain over 30. How many years, Michael?
31 years.
31 years. So he progressed through 30 things.
Going strong.
All right.
Strong. When I was younger, I mean, like most men, we go off of the visual, and that's kind of what we know. I mean, and me personally, when I was younger, it still applies today. I didn't always know what I wanted. I just knew what I didn't want, and that kind of what I base it off of. But I mean, but to be blunt about it,
it starts with the physical. I mean, you have to be attracted to what you see. I mean, so if you are one-eyed, one-legged, three finger woman
with no ass,
with no ass, that is not attractive, and I am not going to be attracted to you. You could be the nicest, sweetest person in the world, but I'm not going to be attracted to you. I mean, come on now. Are we being real today? Are we being real today? You're not going to be attracted to that. So it starts there, and then once you meet that, and be quite honest, a lot of women meet that category where, because there are beautiful women out there. After that, it's all about, how do you make me feel? Do you make me feel like a man? Do you allow me to be me? Do you allow me to be my masculine self, in the way I want to be? Do you follow my lead, and be my confidant? I mean, so it's really about how you make me feel, but it starts out with what you look like. I mean, and I'm imagining it's the same thing for women. When you first meet a guy, you may want want a man with provisions, want a man who's dominant and masculine and an alpha male or whatever, and you may want all that.
I'm gonna throw a flag on the plate, brother.
But you also want a guy that you're attracted to as well.
Mike, I hear you wholeheartedly, and I agree with you to an extent. I'm gonna throw a flag on this play.
Okay.
Because I have a question. Now I'm just being real. The date, the firm of real plug. Anyway, so we know, and I know ladies in here probably seen this. I'm not gonna say y'all witnessed. I say y'all experienced it, but they have seen where a man, women like to say, cheats down. She ain't attractive as his wife is, but guess what? She'll conversation what she says she do, especially if she working with you 8 hours to 10 hours a day, where she's spending more time with you at your work than your wife.
Now, when you talk about a man cheating down, again, you are looking at it from two different perspectives. When women cheat and when men cheat is two totally different, because women come at it from a different point of view. Most times when women cheat, there is some type of emotional connection they may have with that man. It's just not a random, I'm going to meet a guy on the street and, women do that, but oftentimes there is some type of emotional connection. When a man cheats, it's just a piece of ass. I mean, quite honestly, it's a piece of ass.
No. I would say I would disagree with you.
It is just sex. It is nothing more. You can have sex with a woman.
Yeah. So Mike. Okay. I took So everybody, real quick. I'm a moderator, so I can't really get you deep in this. So, yes, a lot of times it is sex. If you go back to what we said earlier, it was something missing. So she get that 3-fingered, one-eyed woman with no ass, says she'll cook for you, take care of you, make your bath water. I'm fucking.
But again, let's one of the examples we talked about, a man going to a strip club. If you go to a strip club, even if it don't even have to be a strip club, if you go anywhere and you see an attractive woman, somebody that you think is attractive, and she wants to have sex, she don't even have to give you her name. You don't even know what her name is. I mean, all you know is she look good. I got a free moment.
I get you.
Listen
I hear you.
I mean, and I'm being totally honest. A lot of men, we cheat like taking a piss. It's not that. It's just sex. It's nothing emotional. You don't know their name. You don't give two shits about that person. You just having sex. That is, now you can have, if you want to have a relationship with a woman, obviously it's going to go beyond that. But when you're talking about just the act of sex, that's all it is. Okay. From a man perspective. Now, a woman may be a little bit different.
No.
Now,
all right.
Now,
so hold on, Bob.
If you're trying to tell me that women can just have random sex with a bunch of guys with no emotions, I say you can probably do that, but on the long term, I don't think that's sustainable for
so
women.
That's a whole
because you're not
time out. Time out. So time. So hold that thought. Oh, please, everybody, hold that thought, because we about to go in a whole different world, and I love it.
Come on, bring it on.
So Lawrence. Be honest with you, I forgot the original question. Do you remember the original question?
The question was about men being separated.
Oh.
No, that was a question.
What's your question?
We don't even remember.
The question
about the list.
The question.
Yes, about the list.
The list. Yeah. Well, and I said
No.
for me,
Sharon went up and asked questions.
the list for me was is how a woman makes me feel. I mean, first it starts out with how she looks. The visual is what attracts me to a woman, and then after that is really how she makes me feel. And that's the basis of the attraction in my list.
So Lawrence, you're the single faith-based panelist expert this time. So please elaborate on the list, please, sir.
It's a lot that we said.
You sure is.
I'm here to start the pot. I'm here to start the pot.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
There you are.
I don't know. Honestly,
31 years or some work.
so everybody comes into a relationship with expectations, right? Right. Everybody does, I believe. Whether they are real expectations or unrealistic expectations, everybody has. I'll just go by. I think you mentioned something about like 20 years later, kind of what your mentality.
The 20-year-old you
versus the 25
you now,
years later.
the unrealistic thing.
So I'll just do this. I'll go by what my. First of all, I respect how women think, and then when it comes to this, y'all don't look at things all the time by what you see. Y'all just don't. Most time y'all looking at more internal things. How well he conversates with you. I mean, how respectful he is. I love that stuff. That's real about it. And if we as men looked at things like that, it might be a better way, a better place. It would be. But we don't always look at things like that. We just don't. My mom said one time, she said, when you realize that you have less years in front of you than you have behind you, your perception changes.
True. Yeah.
From what you want to what you need.
Yes.
The woman that you choose in your life better be able to take care of you.
Yeah.
Later on in her life, I've had dates with women who sit in front of me, and just because they're just pretty, but they have no conversation.
Yeah.
There's no content
substance
to them. There's no. There's nothing more to them than just, well, I'm pretty.
Yeah.
And she would probably sit there and play with her hair for 20 minutes and I'm the one that's starting the conversation.
And does that pretty factor downgrades at that point? Like, she ain't that pretty no more.
If what you were saying about the woman with the 3 fingers or whatever you said.
One eye, 3 fingers, no ass. I said probably.
How many men have seen women that they thought were beautiful, and with a guy that you thought, like, what is that about? Yeah. Women are very different when it comes to that perspective. So, like he was saying about being visual, we're very visual creatures. We are very visual creatures. So, like my mom said, though, you need to start focusing on what you need in life, not what you want. There's a woman; she don't have to be all glamorous and model looking and all that other stuff. I've had all this before. But what about the woman that's gonna take care of you?
All right.
How she make you feel?
Get sick and things like that.
How she make you feel?
Well, come on.
I
All
hope
right.
that answers your question.
So we'll take one more comment. Then we're gonna go to the bonus round. I'm ready for the bonus round.
Bonus round.
Yeah, you need a drink? We got plenty of them.
I'm empty.
How many of y'all in this room today remember what Grandma and Grandpa said?
Hold on a second, everybody. So say again one more
How
time.
many people in the room remember what Grandma and Grandpa said? Because my grandmother told me, don't get nobody that you look better than. And that's for real. So I agree. We are visual.
Yes.
However, I sat there and I told you this, and I learned this. We do have expectations, but if you're going to work, you got to throw them expectations out the window. You have to. You just have to. And I told Marcus and Kia this when I first met them. They asked me, how did y'all make it? Me and my wife been married for 11 years. And I said, one of the most important things is acceptance. You got to accept people for who they are. My grandmother told me, if you can't accept them, then get out from around them. Because you're going to always be working to try and change them. And people don't change until they want to change. So that's all I got to say.
That was good. I like that. is so true.
It is.
And I may have oversimplified what I was saying. I mean, but in essence, I think we're all saying the same thing. You know, it's really how a woman makes you feel. It really is. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but it starts with visual. Absolutely. You know, I mean that. You know, if you're not attracted to him, you're not attracted to him.
Right.
So it depends on the person. So that came to the common conclusion. All right, so I don't know. Is there somebody makes a crowd this? All 8 of us. Yes. Ooh, I'm gonna slide. Make you slide. I got a rhythm, but still. Anyway, is everybody good? Everybody having a good time? So we're now going to the bonus round. And if I got this basket here full of questions that's been generated, whatever, and I'm gonna ask a volunteer to come up.
Let's pull Lena up.
Lena, come.
Lane.
Well, I'm sorry. So we're gonna let you pull a question.
Yeah, Tammy.
Oh, she's second. She's second. So pick up a question. I want you to read it and address to our panel. Come on, step in.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Hold on, everybody ready?
You guys ready?
Step to the side. She good. The visual.
To the left. That right there.
Right here? Right here?
All right.
Yeah. You're good. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do men consider head of the family or household?
Ooh.
Head of the family or household.
Is it really easy?
Is it? What?
It really is.
I'm into. I gotta move now.
You want to stay up there?
I'll stay right here.
Shit, get it, kid.
What do you guys consider head or family of the household?
So first of all, so what we're gonna do? Mike said he want to answer. He ready for that one.
Mike.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, it's me. I'm in my household. I'm the head of my household. Obviously, I make decisions in consultation with my wife. She has an opinion about everything that I do. But if it comes down to it, and there is a decision that has to be made, it's me. There's only one CEO. There's only one president at a time. It's me. But it's not done in a vacuum. I take her advice. I take her opinion. I value that. She's my counsel.
Okay.
But as far as the head of the house, it's me. Always me.
Okay.
Always gonna be us.
I'm glad you said you consult her.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Always.
He can stay right there.
If I can't depend on her, why is she with me?
Oh yeah, he answered my question.
All right. So Keith, you go next, and Lawrence, this is a good one for you. So you go ahead. Whatever you want.
I second to what he saying.
Second that emotion. All right. So go ahead, Lawrence.
Okay, so what that comes from is from the Bible. So the Bible says that man is head of the woman, as Christ is head of the church. Yeah. Simple. I mean, this is pretty simple. Man was created before woman. So that's why. But I think that sometimes we put that in the wrong. We think it's the wrong way, the wrong context. We think as, oh, well, he's going to be like in control over me. Control.
Yeah.
I don't know why we always think that.
Mm-mm.
You know, you're two sides of the same coin. You know that, right? So a woman comes from man. So you're two sides of the same coin. It is. You can't have two heads. That would be a dysfunction in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Somebody has to be the person that makes those decisions. And I think sometimes we think that, oh my God, I'm just going to be in this particular role and I have no voice. I think somebody mentioned that earlier. You do have a voice. Yeah. You are one of the most important things to that man.
Yeah.
You are so important to him. The Bible calls you his helpmate. His helpmate. He can do nothing without you. You realize that? You are so important to who he is. The Proverbs 31 woman who got a lot of praise, but she had her own business, she had her own things, and the Bible says her husband was recognized by the things that she did. You realize how important you are. So to answer your question, yes, there's one head of every household.
Right.
There's always one head of every household.
Okay. Hell of an answer. Anybody? So I want to add a quote. Somebody, I don't know if it's he got it for somebody else. It really was truth. DJ Diggs. if you ever download the Astute Gentleman app and listen to the Astute Radio, great music. He's one of the DJs on there, and he said something that really resonated with me. What's the big word? He said the man's head of the household, but the woman is the neck that helps turn the head.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
And he helps guide that head.
She is
And
my number one counselor.
it kind of stuck with me. It's like, yo, that's real. That's real. Because I'm not gonna make every right decision. I'm gonna make some wrong decisions. But if I don't include the woman, I guarantee I'll make more wrong than I probably can do right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's where a lot of men get it wrong when you talk about being the head of the household. They feel like they have to dominate and be in charge of everything, and you don't have an opinion, you don't have a say-so, and it's just me. And that's not how it's supposed to be. Well, at least that's not how I run my household. I value my wife's opinion. I mean, there are certain areas that she is a lot smarter than I am, and I defer to her. Finances, I mean, when it comes to managing the finances, she controls the checkbook. I make the money, she writes all the checks. She's my CFO. I've said it for years. And, literally, I have no idea how much I have in my banking account. She knows to the penny. I know generally what's in there, but she knows to the penny what's in my account. And she don't work.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to segue, and we're going to, as Marcus said earlier, we're going to pull from the other questions that we had. So we had 5 main questions. We've gotten through those questions. And so Tam has arrived, and I want Tam to come up and pull a question from the basket, ask that question, and we're gonna move on. We had an allotted time for this event. We still have a lot of people on the virtual side that are still there, and we're gonna keep going. And y'all still here, so we're gonna keep going. This is an important conversation. As I said earlier, we were made to love and be loved. At the end of the day, y'all can say what y'all want. All you hard motherfuckers, y'all can still be hard. Y'all can be hard. I used to be hard, but at the end of the day, we were made to be loved. Really? No, I used to play hard. Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I played a whole bunch of hard shit. I ain't hard. Like I want to be loved. This morning when me and Marcus woke up at 4 o'clock, I was like, baby, hold me.
Oh my God.
So look, we're gonna go with the next question. Tam's gonna come up and she's gonna pull the next question, and we're gonna keep this thing going.
Don't worry, she really big. Come on, sit right next to this.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
All right, sit right here. All right, here we go, guys. Everybody.
If a man has his phone turned down, does it mean he's hiding something?
Let me hold on. Let me repeat it. Yeah. If a man has his phone turned down, does it mean he's hiding something? Because the cell phone, a lot of times we put it like this. Especially it'll be on vibrate or no, fuck vibrate. It'll be on silent.
I thought it was only one option.
No, it's 2.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, I hate the pee.
So okay. So let's stand by. Cause I hear ladies talking over here, and this is coming from a lady. Hold that question. We're gonna let them respond and open mic.
Well,
all right. Go ahead. Who wants to go first?
I would say right now, my phone is on that chair right there. Which way is it facing?
There
you go. Which way was it facing? Up or down?
It's up and it's been ringing for the last hour.
And, that's probably my wife. What the hell are you talking about up here? but out of habit, that's how I put my phone down. I got nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing to hide. There is nothing going on that my wife don't know about.
So let me ask you this then: if all of a suddenly, out of 31 years, 32,
31.
31, and you start putting down on the regular, would there be a problem?
Again, it wouldn't automatically be a problem, but it would be something that, you know, let's flip it. I would say if my wife did that, it wouldn't automatically be a problem, but it would be something that I would like. Hey, what's going on? It would spark a conversation. Yeah. And I would have a conversation as to if you normally for 30 years you've been doing it this way, and all of a sudden now you're switching and you're doing something different. It would spark a conversation.
Okay, I get that.
And we would go from there.
So a sudden change of habit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who is going next on that one? I get two of y'all.
I never turn my phone on, ever.
That's because you a player. You shit. You told him from the get go you wasn't shit. But I'm just gonna put that out there.
True that.
I know your resume.
Yeah.
So Lawrence, my man of faith, what do you got?
No.
No what?
I don't think he's hiding anything. I mean, it could go several different ways there. I mean, I turn my phone over sometimes if I want to be attentive to the woman I'm with. Yeah. So that no one's distracting me.
I never thought about
There's
that.
all kind of different things to look at right there. You don't necessarily have to be hiding something. I think anybody who's thinking that, they're probably hiding something. They're probably hiding something.
The person that asked that question is insecure.
All right, that's a hell of an answer. I never thought about that way. You opened my mind some the new stuff. See, anybody got a question? Anybody want to respond? Come on up here, Dana. Come on.
Get up. Yeah, you gotta get up.
Hey, I'll stand with you.
I mean, I have my phone on silent because I don't like the noise pinging off, and I'm on group chats and group me, so I have it on silent. It's no disrespect. It doesn't mean I'm cheating. It's just courtesy of the pinging going off. I don't think it has anything to do with somebody cheating.
Okay.
If that's your habit, then it's your habit.
Yeah.
All right.
I just don't like the noise.
So thank you, Dana.
Mm-hmm.
So
but there would be other actions in you that would make me think something is going on. If we were together, it wouldn't just be the phone alone. There would be other attributes you have or other actions you have that would make me think a certain way.
So so my translation is consistency.
Yeah. Right.
If it's consistent that you're always did that from day one, it's fine. But if it's a sudden change of action,
now you don't.
well, hold on.
Now we got a conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
It could just mean that, I mean, like.
come on up here. Come on, no.
Get on up.
Them boots are made for walking, and that's what they're gonna do. All right, come on.
I think it's just I mean, day to day is just different. It's just different things from day to day. You know what I mean? I do multiple things.
Don't let the world not see you, baby.
Stop it. So I do multiple things. So if I do multiple things, and maybe today was a busy day, so maybe once my day is done, I'm done. I'm done with my phone. I don't feel like I don't want to see the light flashing. I don't want to hear anything pinging. Maybe I didn't do that yesterday. Maybe yesterday I was waiting on the email or waiting on confirmation from something, waiting on a phone call. So yesterday it was on. The ringer was up. I'm looking at it every time I hear something because I'm checking. I'm waiting on something. Tomorrow I'm not waiting on nothing. I already know I got everything done I needed done. This weekend I'm not dealing with this phone. I'm turning it off. I'm turning it upside down or whatever it is I need to do. So it's different day to day.
But if that's your pattern, then a man will get used to your pattern. Right. He will match your movements. He will understand that. But if your pattern is always to have it one way and then it changes, now conversation. It's not like it's just a conversation.
Okay, so we have a virtual question, and I want to address it. The virtual question is 20 verse 40. And I ask, when do men mature? But I know it depends on the person. When do men mature? So listen. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is a very complicated question. I know it is. It's very complicated. When do men mature? When do people mature? Shit.
That's not complicated. It's really not.
Go
ahead.
I got a question with that because Because if
This is a
men,
virtual question.
I got you.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna ask the question, and the virtual person that asked the question, she can answer this question in the comment. If men mature late, because that's why the question. If men mature late, how late do women immature? No, immature. Because women seem to get dumber as they get older.
And
I'm the controversial. He's in competition. No, I'm serious. I'm not thanking you. Because if women so-called mature before men do, and men mature late, then that's real talk. Because women do dumber shit. They get real silly when they get older.
All right. So
we get hold on.
It's an open forum. His belief, his ideas is his own.
It's his.
Is it allowed to express? So we're gonna take this one step at a time. So for one, we're gonna stand by Jeff. We're gonna say when men generally start to mature, then we're gonna go with number 2.
Right.
If or when when mature or demature. I don't know if that's a word, but
he said no. Your man said demature. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's my brother.
Well, I will say this.
I'll fight you behind him.
Generally, men mature later than women. Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with, as men being providers, it takes a while for a man to get to a point where he can be a provider and build up that wealth, that status that most women are looking for. I mean, there are times where women will, get with a guy on potential, but for a man to be a quote unquote a full-fledged man, fully functional, and being a provider, it takes a while to get to that point. Women, on the other hand, they don't have to strive to that level. A lot of their value doesn't come from being a provider and creating wealth and all that. A lot of their value comes from other places, so that comes a lot sooner. And so now, as far as woman, de-evolving or whatever word you want to use, dematuring. I apologize. Dematuring. I didn't mean to say that. I apologize.
I got you.
Now I don't know if that comes from because a lot of the value for women from a man perspective is visual. I don't know if you're meaning that as women get older, their value decreases visually. I don't know if that's what you meant.
It's always been said since we were kids that women mature.
So hold on, Jeff. Step to the mic, brother.
It's always been said since we were kids in school that women mature faster than men.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, you don't mature. You don't continue to mature as you get older.
Right.
You should, but most women don't.
But
then men mature, and when we realize at whatever age we realize that we want to do some mature shit, then women want to do a bunch of immature shit.
The only way I can answer that is men and women, we select differently. The quality that women look for in a man is different than the quality that men look for in women. And what women look for in men, it takes a while for us to get to that level. What we look for in women, quite honestly, most of the time they're going with it. And it's their beauty.
But then women get older and don't know what the hell they want.
Well, right, but as they get older,
at 25, they might know what they want. I want a man that's doing this, and this. But then at 40, they don't know what the hell they want.
That's the thing that chose.
Yeah.
So now they like, well, here, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a twofold question.
Yeah.
And so I have to I want people to understand that it's not that men mature late. We have so many other things that we need to be thinking about, and at a point, women don't have to think about anything.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah. So
because again,
we're always thinking. Men are always thinking.
And to your point, and I agree with you. We mature late because again, what women value in us,
it takes a while to earn that. We're not born with that value. We have to earn that value. And what we value in women, they're born with it. I mean, and again, I'm talking about their beauty, and but as they get older, that beauty will fade. I'm not saying, but it does. But men, as they get older, their value increases because most men, our earning potential, we don't hit our stride until we're in our 40s and 50s. Yeah. And that's what we don't hit our stride until late in life. And that's why an older man can go down and marry a younger woman because she value what he already has, and we value what she already has, which is her beauty. That's right. So that's how that is. I mean, I'm assuming that's what what they were telling you. That's what they were talking about.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm with you. But it's just a two-sided question.
Right.
What you say, Lawrence?
All right, Lawrence, what you got, brother?
The best way you can, because open forum, the date to affirm the real. Do what you do.
What was the question?
So, if I remember right,
That's what I'm saying. I think there was other questions.
yeah. So what age do men really start hitting their mature?
Who knows that? Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot of. I guess the reason why I got lost because to me, who could actually answer that? Yeah. Only you can answer for yourself. That's what I'm saying. That's it.
Okay.
I can't. I don't know. It could be when he first has kids. He has kids for the first time. I don't know. It was several different things. All right.
Mm-hmm. Right. So generally, Lawrence, the overall group concession, what you said, is really depending on the person. Because you can have one hit at 19, you can have one hit at 50. Hit a minute, hit it all. Right. It's all one.
It depends on the person.
So me personally, it's about acceptance. A lot of the upbringing that you have growing up.
Yeah.
So your role models that you have growing up, and the role models you accept as an adult. Responsibility. So.
But I would imagine when women think of a man maturing, they're thinking of a man being ready to be a husband. And a part of being a husband is being able to provide, protect, and responsibility. But, most men are not ready to provide, protect, and be that husband until they're later in life. I would imagine in their 30s, 30s.
I think that most men come, just like you said, with women.
Come on up here. Come on. Them boots are made for walking, and that's what they gonna do.
I would have to say that it kind of goes both ways. So, am I in the right spot? So, I would have to say that it goes both ways. Like when you were saying women are born, we are automatically born with our traits of nurturing, of being that feminine woman. We're gonna console. We're gonna do those things. I agree with that, and I think that even with a man, they're born automatically with those traits. They are born to protect and to provide. So it's not a matter of what age you can really be a protector and a provider. You still have to be a person that can be accountable. You still have to be a person that can be responsible. So that goes along with the maturity. It's not just that little portion of it. When I look at maturity, I look at multiple things in it.
It's more than just that. I mean, but men are born with the notion that I need to be a protector, provider. I mean, that's kind of that's kind of coded in our DNA or who we are. But they're not able to give you that until later in life. Most men,
all right.
Most men are not able to do that until a little bit later.
So what I'm gonna end that note on my view. A lot of it is encoded, but the encoding is not deciphered until a man has a role model or a leader or a teacher to show him how to decode that code. So we're gonna leave it at that. So I need a volunteer to come read the next question. No, don't get one Dana. Dana next.
You're gonna do a woman.
Okay, come on, woman. Oh, woman, hear me wrong.
Okay, here we go. I can't tell my What do you think a time limit is a good idea? Okay.
Oh, you got it, huh?
Okay. All right. Do you think a time limit is a good idea when it pertains to a relationship, marriage, sex, moving in?
It's a good question.
You like?
Good question.
Yeah, I got her excited. She excited, y'all. So think about it. You know, society like puts like timeline on things. Everything is a timeline. So, not hate on Steve Harvey, but he had that 90-day rule. Don't get a man that put. Oh shit, I can't say that.
Is that your
Don't give the pussy until 90 days. Do you think some things like that, or moving in, or is it too fast? So for instance, me and my relationship, like I say transparently, I tell her we move real fast. It's right, but move fast. So every time we hit a speed bump, it's not a boom boom, it's a jump.
It's a jump.
It's a hit high, but it's how we land what makes a difference. So, but do you think there should be a real time limit of things that you a relationship like sex, moving in, marriage? So I'm gonna let Mike. You ready to chomp at the bit? I see a list moving, but no words coming out. But go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I know I got an opinion on everything, which is fine. You know what?
And we dig it.
That's me. Always gonna be me.
Be yourself.
Me personally, I really don't think there is a time limit. I think again, and when I say most men, I'm speaking in generalities. When a man meet a woman, most men know within 6 months if that's going to be my wife. It don't take them that long. It don't take a 2-year dating or a 2-year, engagement and all that to know. Most men know within 6 months if that's going to be my wife. If they haven't proposed to you within 6 months, what you doing? Either I'm in, either shit, or get off the pot. You know it don't take that long. Now, I'm even though me and my wife, we lived together before we got married, I really don't condone that. I mean, but I know that's kind of the thing to do nowadays where you want to get to know someone and all that kind of stuff. In our society today, that's kind of the norm. That's what we do. Got it. And I'm not going to hate on that, but that's what we do.
Hold on.
I want to hear from their perspective.
Okay, I'm going to get there.
I'm sorry, I'm dominating.
No.
Both married and single.
I'm hit you. I promise. Okay. I promise you. But this is my flag.
Why are we doing
Flag to play because nowhere else say flag. Like I said, Mike is my uncle-in-law or ex-uncle-in-law, whatever. He's my uncle. We family.
There you go.
We family. I no matter what. I'm always working in the house. I ain't got to do. I can give me a motherfucking plate. So, and I know Mike has a daughter who's not married.
Mm-hmm.
How old is she?
30.
30. Would you condone her moving in with the dude she just and now how many kids she got, Mike?
2 kids.
She got 2 kids.
2 kids, not married.
Would you condone her moving in with somebody?
I would not condone it. I mean, let me rephrase that. I would not encourage it. There you go. But she is a grown woman and she can make her own decision. So if she asks my opinion, I'm going to tell her no. But I understand the society that we live in today, and that's kind of the norm nowadays. But I don't condone it. I would not advocate for it, and I would not tell her that's the right thing to do. But if she does it, I mean, she's still going to be my daughter.
Okay.
But I'm going to monitor and make sure everything is cool as best I can.
That's all I wanted to hear. All right, Keith, go ahead. Hit me with your response.
I'm gonna throw this to one of the triple OGs.
I'm sorry, I can't be. I'm impartial.
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it to my uncle.
Okay, be more specific.
Hey, this is his thing. I'm giving this to my uncle.
All right, so before we go,
why wouldn't you give the answer?
Come up here. Come on. So Dana said. So time out. Everybody, hold on. Time. Everybody. So Dana said. Well, one of the audience said, "Don't be a punk about it. Be real."
I just like to hear you.
Yeah.
That was the easy route. You took the easy route. I would like to hear.
So tell me what you really feel. Because do you have a daughter or a granddaughter at all?
I have a daughter. That's 10.
So is she married?
Not a 10.
So 10. So you
talk about his daughter. Why can't he talk about his?
No. Because
the question wasn't about your daughter.
No. Because the reason I say daughter, because when we think about our family, we think about a whole different perspective.
But it's not about the question. Wasn't about that. It was about yourself.
Marcus.
Okay, I'm listening.
Let her ask me that question again.
Yeah. Okay.
let her get on the mic and ask me that question again.
Oh, she calling you out.
Where's the question?
Oh. Hold on. I don't know where we.
Okay, here we go. So the question is, everybody listening.
Nah, you talking to me.
No, it's no. You, Lawrence, and Michael. Okay. Do you think a time limit is a good idea when it pertains to a relationship? Question mark. Marriage? Question mark. Sex? Question mark. Moving in? Question mark. You know.
Me personally, I don't think it's a time limit.
That's my friend.
We from the look.
Whatever. I don't really think it's a time limit at all.
All right, so hold on, everybody. So let's let Keith answer. Let's Keith answer his question. So it's direct toward him.
Come on, Pete.
Hey, no, I really don't think it's a time limit. It's not. It's what flows at the time. So if I ain't gonna say you, what's your name? Tamara. Okay, so me and Tamara meets at whatever club, and you know we vibe, we kicking, we go on a couple dates, everything pans out. I'm not gonna ask her like, hey, you ready to move in? It's something that's gonna happen, and I learned this from somebody older than me.
Is this called organic, Keith?
Is this the question you asked? The question somebody asked is this called organic?
Like I hate you. I hate you. So it just happens. Like you don't. So I'm not gonna go to Tamara and be like, hey, we moving in on December 1st, 2025. Because guess what? It might not happen. But if it happens, it happens. Let it happen organically, like you said, Kia.
All right, so we all wait for this answer. Lawrence, elaborate, bro.
So there's 9 months before a baby's born, right?
Oh shit.
There's 9 months. It's time.
Hold on, where are we going?
Listen to what I'm saying.
He got this. He got this.
Yeah, I'm ready for this one.
Everything has time. Time is the revealer of all things.
True.
If you rush into something, then would you be able to say that you gave it its time? If it falls apart, you rushed into it, would you be able to say you gave it its time? You wouldn't be able to. So you're supposed to give it time. You're supposed to know somebody, and I think it works both ways. The other person should appreciate that time frame. I want to get to know you. I think the issue is this. It's easy to fall for the initial attraction like this because I'm physically attracted to you. So guess what? We got that chemistry, so let's move in together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what do you know about that person? What do you really know about it? Matter of fact, most people find out about the person once you do move in with them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right. That representative go away.
Some questions you should ask ahead of schedule. Some questions we don't. You know what we do first? We get physical first. And the physical thing messes everything up. Because now you're not focused on the internal person anymore. You first focused on being pleased by the individual physically. I search for the heart of the individual because the heart gonna tell me the truth. If I get your heart, I get everything else anyway. That's how I see it.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
How long would it take for you when you first meet a woman to evaluate her heart and see where she's coming from? How long do you think, generally speaking? I'm generally.
Hold on, everybody.
I don't know.
Let's hold on. Let the panel speak, everybody. Hold on. Go ahead.
I wouldn't know that. I would just say I have a lot of questions to ask ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I'm sure that they say your actions, right, will prove a lot of things in life. How you respond to things. But you won't know that necessarily. Some things you have to spend time on. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that sometimes we skew that because we feel like, oh, this is good now. Everything is good in the beginning. How many people could raise their hand and say, everything is good in the beginning?
That's right.
Everybody can say that.
So Everything is good in the beginning. And if it's good in the beginning, how good is it to not find out if it's going to be good in the end? Because when you move in, when you have sex, when you take the relationship, you do all these things to have a relationship and to see if it's good, because believe it or not, when you have a relationship with one person and you've done all these things with one person and you go to the next person, now you got something to compare it to.
Right.
So now instead of comparing, work harder to have the relationship that you're in after you've done all the moving in and having sex. Because if you don't plan on being with the person, don't do those things. You're wasting time.
Yeah.
So time, spending time with a person to find out if you want to be with them or not. I know people that that has gotten married 2 days. I know one particular person I'm gonna speak on. He saw his wife, and he walked up to her and told her, "You're gonna be my wife." And he's passed away now, but when he passed, they was married for 42 years, and they got married 3 days after they met. And they never moved in, they never had sex, they never kissed, they never did anything. Time is precious. So why waste your time trying to figure out if this is the person you want to be with instead of just being with the person you're with?
I have a question.
Because again, me, you, we're all in here biblical. Who dated in the Bible? Who dated before they got married in the Bible?
If we're gonna go biblical, first of all, if we're gonna go biblical, let's understand something. A marriage was not something that was filled out on paper.
No, it wasn't.
A woman and man that said it was attracted to each other, a family decided that person would be with that person, they consummated the relationship by having sex. That made them one.
Yeah.
And what the Bible says, if you sleep with a prostitute, you become one with that prostitute. That is your wife in the sense that
Yeah.
she becomes your wife.
Yeah, he said, the Bible says that he knew her.
That prostitute, I guarantee you, that's just not what you want as a wife. But you slept with her anyway. So you're bound to that because
Yeah.
you made the decision.
Yeah.
I'm saying some things you should take time with. Take time to get to know an individual all the way through. You deserve. I mean, this is something that you deserve to do. Now, you're right. There are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
Sometimes people meet in high school and stay together forever.
Yeah.
But what's the percentage of that?
But the point.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the point. Whatever.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, because if you.
How long it could be.
Yeah, because if you meet a person, and y'all go out to eat and y'all do all of this stuff, and then you decide suddenly that you don't want to be with this person, what you just did was wasted a lot of time and a lot of money.
Exactly.
You know, instead of sitting back and waiting, push stop, just push stop. Instead of waiting and finding the person that you want to be with and know that you want to be with this person and then move forward. Yeah. Because now, back in the old days, I say this all the time, I wish we can go back to when the TV went off at 11:59. Okay. Because whatever you had at that time, you had to deal with. If your mama told you can't be on the phone after 9 o'clock, you got to wait till tomorrow to talk to that person. You can't get back on the phone. Or you get in trouble sneaking out of the house. But those are the things that, because now nobody has patience. Nobody, the cell phone and social media and internet, it made nobody has patience anymore. So now again, because nobody has patience, we'll go out with this person, and then we'll see somebody else, and just for example, you're out on a date and you with this girl, and you see somebody walk by, and she might be the waitress, and you'll make a purpose U-turn after you finish this date to go back to it and holler at the waitress.
That's true.
You know, so it's no patience. Nobody wants to take time to do the work. It's easy to date multiple people, but it's hard to do the work. So you meet somebody and you do the work, and in the end, just like everybody that buys their own stuff, you take care of it.
Exactly.
If your mama bought you something, I can guarantee ain't nobody got anything in here that their mama took. Bought them. But you got everything that you bought for yourself.
Right. Come on. Right.
So you take care of what you go get for yourself.
That's right.
That's why men take care of the woman that they pursue, opposed to the woman pursuing them.
Right. Well, I mean, it goes both ways with that. How many people in here believe in love at first sight?
Lust at first sight.
How many people believe in love at
Whoa.
first sight?
So
You
time out.
feel
So
like you're in love
let me say,
at first
let's stop it, everybody. I don't know if the camera can see it. Let me do the.
That's two people in there.
Should be on the side of it. So everybody. So the question was, who believes in love at first sight? Let's raise their hand. I see 1, 2, 3, and out of 4 hands that's raised, 3 of them were men, or 5 hands that raised, 4 of them were men. That's kind of funny, isn't it? But yet the woman is supposed to be the emotional one.
Now there's another question too. Most. Now I've heard this before.
They are.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Women fall
ladies.
fast,
Ladies,
men
ladies.
fall hard.
Most women know that within the time they meet the man, whether they're going to be intimate with that man.
Yes,
right?
they do. Yes, they do.
That is true.
You do.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Bingo.
Most women already know.
Okay, that's all right.
You see, this is why you throw the conversation as far as time.
So time out, everybody. So time out real quick. Well, so we going.
No, but
So
what I'm
time
saying
out.
is that this is why when you said at first, like lust at first sight and all those things, if you can determine in a few minutes of having a conversation with somebody or seeing them for the first time whether you would sleep with them, I mean, are we really searching for the real essence of what love is? Or are we attracted to a
what that was. You searching for.
Oh, so time out. So time out. So I want you. Come on.
So the
Come up here.
beginning is always skewed. It's not realistic in most cases.
So hold on,
I
Lawrence.
can't love you the day I meet you.
So Lawrence, let her respond.
really love you
What she's gonna do? She's gonna respond to it, and we're gonna kind of start moving on. So we're gonna get one more question after this, because this is. I mean, can't put too much in a big basket, little basket.
I think that's two different things. I think love at first sight and lust at first sight are still two different things. It goes back to when we were kind of having a conversation about the strip club. You're at a strip club, you go there for a specific purpose. You see someone, and let me take the strip club out of it. You see a person, you see whatever it is about that person that just did something to your body, and you like, oh my goodness. That doesn't mean you just fell in love with that person. You just simply wanted to sleep with that person, and it's different for love. If you initially look at this person and you just like, okay, so a woman can have that same mindset in meeting a man within 5 minutes. So just because a woman would meet a man in 5 minutes and decides she would sleep with that man, doesn't mean she would marry that man.
Right. No, I get that. I'm saying when you say the word love, the love is a verb. That means it has to have action to exist. So what action happened for you to love that person at first sight? What action? What action took place?
I think when you love someone at first sight, that's not the lust part of it. It's not. When I say it does something to your body, I think that we can all agree on that part. It's not you. When you love someone at first sight, that person just did something to your mind. You didn't even speak to that person. It's something in your soul that just told you, this person, I got to know this person. I got to pursue this person. I got to get this person. I got to sleep with this person. That's something different. That love, that's in my soul. That just happened like. It's something totally. I don't know if I'm explaining it in a way that makes sense, but that love that's deep down.
So real quick, we all heard what she said, and at that panel, I'm gonna address. I'm just gonna be yes or no answer. Michael, you've been married 31 years. To you, for that 31 years, was that a yes or no? What she just said, is that a yes or no?
Love at first sight?
How it feel in your soul? It
was not love at first sight. I mean, did I like her? Yeah.
I mean, but you know, did I want to get to know her? Yeah, but was it love at first sight? No.
So time out real quick. So when I went, so Mike, I invited you in the group, and later on we're going to address this, and I want you to go home to Linda. Hey, Linda, I like Linda. Linda, my baby. That's my aunt.
Hey, baby.
Because I can always get a plate. I can always right. I want you to ask her, was it love at first sight to her? Because I want to, because really, men and women have different outlooks, yeah. And I want, she may say yes, and you may say no, but at the end of the day, the way you perceive it and you pursued her, you found out that was it, but she might knew it like that.
And that may be true because, you know, obviously men and women, we think differently. Our thought process and how we, you know, process information is different than how women process information. So, I mean, could it have been love at first sight for her? It possibly could have. I doubt it, but it possibly could have. I'm not going to take that away from her. But for me, was it love at first sight? No. Was it somebody that I wanted to get to know and I wanted to, you know, pursue and see where this is going to go? Absolutely. I mean, you know, that kind of goes along the same lines, and I don't want to change the subject. You know, do you have a soulmate? I don't believe in soulmates. There's too many people on this earth to say there's only one person. I know that's going way deeper than what we need to do.
So, see, think about it. When we go back and review this, and we all look at back this, so what I've been trying to do, once again, is out of my room of my normal thing. I'm gonna post it in the group. Like, do we all believe in soulmates? I do. You know, even do, but he don't. But it's a thing, and it's a whole other conversation.
But that's his opinion, though.
You know, but hold on, everybody.
That's his opinion.
In his defense, he's 31 years of no infidelity in a happy home, and I can't take that.
So
I can never.
Not your soulmate.
I don't believe in soulmates. I mean, there's like 6 or 7 billion people in the world, and there's only one person that's meant for you. So I don't know if I believe that. I think that is romantic fantasy that women have about soulmates. There's only one person in the entire world out of 6 or 7 billion people for me.
Yeah, I see.
I don't believe that.
So, Mike, we're gonna move on.
I got you.
No, I agree. I understand. I personally believe there's more than one soulmate. Because but Sharon, you're gonna have the final question of the day, and we're gonna end this with your note. So come on, ask your question.
Bring us home, Sharon.
I think we're gonna have more discussion off camera.
I like that.
I think we're gonna have more discussion off camera.
All right, everybody, let's hear Sharon.
Y'all.
We need a part 2.
So the question is, are men looking for a serious mate in a club setting? From a woman? No.
So time out. So she's a woman. She wants to say her piece. Go ahead and say it, Sharon.
No, I just said from a woman's perspective, I believe the answer is no, because if I say no to you, then you looking at the next 5 ladies walking by and trying to catch whoever gonna catch the bait.
Now, what I would say to you is this. I agree that are you looking for that person to marry in a club setting? But can you find that person in the club? Can you find that person?
You can find that person.
But are you looking? I mean, are you looking for that? Because you know, especially when the alcohol flowing and blah blah. You know what's going on. Yeah. You're looking for Miss Right Now.
Well, not necessarily.
I mean, from a man perspective, I'm not talking about from a woman. From a man perspective.
But I mean, you could be out with your girl. She in town for the weekend, or you out for a bachelorette party, and you meet your soulmate, or you meet your husband or your wife. That doesn't mean that that's their thing.
You can, like I said,
right? You didn't go out looking for the person.
You can meet them, but that's not what you're looking for. Right. And from a man perspective, that's not what we're looking for. Totally different than what the women perspective. But from a guy perspective, when we go into a club, we know what we're looking for. Now we may find something else, which is great, but
a shot of ass.
That's it. I mean, we're not that complicated. I mean, being real. Being real.
So we got two no. We got a no, a hell no. Lawrence, what you got, bro?
Well, it depends on the person, right? I mean, it don't matter where you are. So you said, so let me put it this way. So, would the ideal place to meet a woman is be in church?
No.
Not necessarily, right? No matter where you meet her at. See, so that's what we see. That means.
That was the question, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you got to look at it the right way. If you're in a club, you may run across somebody that's got the right mindset, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But did you go there looking for?
Nope.
I mean, I could have went there looking for a woman.
So that's you went there looking for
So-
a woman and you found.
so you saying-
I
That's
met some good women in clubs. I have.
Okay.
But why are you with them now?
No, I'm not with them now, but that's related to the time and everything else. But as far as what I went there for.
All right. So what I gather. So we're gonna bring it home real quick. What you gather is, even though you may not be looking for that soulmate or that potential mate, you not object to finding her there, because you never know where you may find that one.
I mean, you're not going to a club looking for a wife. Can you find a wife in a club? Yeah, but you're not looking for a wife in the club.
I'm gonna break it down.
You might
quick.
stumble across your wife.
Absolutely. There you go.
All right, so that was a great question. We're gonna start wrapping it down now. I'm gonna turn the mic over to Kia. And first, before I step out, I want to thank the panelists, Lawrence, Michael, Keith.
Yeah, this is excellent.
The barber extraordinaire cuts my hair. So if my hairline is crooked, blame him. but honestly,
That's genetic.
but honestly though, I've been going here for 5 years. He mentors, cuts, cigars. This is my home lounge. When it's funny, I tell you when my wife or my girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, when she say where you at, she don't ask. Hold on. My question, time out, everybody. The question was, what did I call her? My everything. How about that?
All right, gotta go.
All right. So when she don't question. She don't question where I'm at, because she knows where I'm at, and she knows she's always welcome where I'm at. So how about that? I'm gonna hit you with when you hit me back. All right. So, but this is my home lounge, and this is the kind of conversation we have. Everything's open. We whatever it is you say, men and women, you get the truth, and we're always going. Wherever you come in here, you're always gonna be welcome, all the time. And so, I promise you, a Stu Gentleman Cigar and Barber here on Inwood and Farmers Branch. You come in, sit down, enjoy the ride. That's what I can say about that. I'm not gonna say anymore. And I thank him for allowing us to do this, because he's a true friend, and that's all I give a damn about. Wherever I need, wherever happens, he's gonna be my buddy, my friend, my pal. All right, baby, go on, take us home.
So I'm going to follow up to what you said, and I'm glad you started with that. I knew about Jeff before I met Jeff. I heard about him, and I'm like, I got to meet this nigga. Right? Hey, listen, cause I'm real, and I don't sugarcoat shit. Well, I heard about Jeff before I even met him, and I'm like, I gotta meet this nigga. Like, for real? Listen, y'all. The reason we're here, the reason y'all got cameras and mics and all this set up, this man came here early. And he set all this up for us. He made sure we had all of this.
Thank you.
And I gotta show love to him, because he ain't my biological brother, but he's my brother. And that's real. And it's rare you meet people like that. It's rare you meet people who like, you want to do what? I got you. It's rare. I can't even say that enough. It's rare. I just had this moment yesterday with Tim. It's rare you meet people that be like, you want to do what? I got you. Let's do it. You want to have this set up? I got you. It's rare. So when I meet people like that, I have to show love. Because life is so short. We live moment by moment. People be talking about day by day. Ain't no day by day. It's moment by moment. So I'm gonna give him his motherfucking roses while I got him.
Yeah.
This nigga here, that's my brother. That's real talk. Cause if I tell him I want to do something up here, he say, sis, what you want to do? With this rough ass motherfucking voice. What you want to do?
Hey, Kill, it's real hard, ain't it?
It's hard.
It's real hard.
He hard.
It's real hard.
But I love him. I love this man, for real. That's my brother. And I love this man. I love him because
Marcus? I was in my phone, my bad.
Because I can tell him, babe, this is my friend. And he know I got mostly male friends. You know, I got a bunch of female friends, but I got a lot of male friends. And he, babe, that's your friend, they my friend. And he embraced the shit out of this bald head motherfucker. He embraced you. But he embraces all my friends like that. He embraces everybody like that. So look, if y'all don't know, you gonna know. I'm a poet. I'm an author. So I have to close this out.
Give us something, Kill.
With a piece. I gotta close it out.
Give us something.
So I gotta take these fake ass glasses off.
That was cute though.
There you go, they gonna snap.
Cause I can't see through them motherfuckers. They was just cute. So this piece is coming from the last book of my 3-part poetry series. This piece, so this book right here is so close to my heart, The Constant Road to Healing. This book is called The Constant Road to Healing. Do y'all understand what that means? What I understood when I wrote this book is we are on a continuous journey. All of us have been through a set of trauma and pain and a bunch of shit, right? It don't change nothing. It don't change nothing, but I have come to understand that I had to start healing from all of the trauma and the pain that I have gone through in my life. So this piece is called Happiness. How could this be? Well, your eyes told me to relax. It was the secret to getting to know you. Allow me to see you also had past pain, to trust and believe I wasn't the only one. You also needed love and attention. Patience and understanding just as badly as I did. Your heart was pure. You just weren't completely sure. In the past, you had taken your time, jumped quick, and ended up wanting to hit rewind. You deserve love too. Attention and sacrifice. A woman that caters to you. Makes you feel appreciated, desired, and longed for. Keeps you satisfied and completely happy. Yes, you deserve happiness too. I realize men are told they should cater to women, but I believe in reciprocity. Fulfill all your desires, transcend your ideas of love higher, keep you on your toes, respecting you for the man you are, communicating effectively, and easily forgiving, making your needs priority, but not neglecting me. Being patient and knowing you need to move at your own pace, giving you time and space, knowing and trusting we will one day build a dynasty together, displaying a positive example of what strong love looks like. I am truly committed to making you feel just as wanted as I want to feel. I would try my best to remove my ego, understanding all the things needed to make this successful, and learning every love language that you encompass. Otherwise, we can't fulfill our purpose. So know that I will always extend my hand because you are the most special man. I love you. You deserve happiness too. So let me tell y'all something. I appreciate that love.
I love that.
That's love.
I love.
Let me tell y'all something. Understanding. I wrote this, I don't know how long ago. I published it 2 years ago. But I understood something when I wrote this. Happiness was mine. I manifested everything in my life. Everything I have in my life right now, I have manifested because I wrote about it before it ever came into fruition.
Yeah.
So when I tell you I wrote about the man that I now have before I even had him. Listen, if anybody told me earlier this year I would experience this type of love, I would have told them, no, I ain't gonna get that. But this is real. This is stuff I wrote about, and I didn't even completely step into that. So what I'm gonna say, listen, and my brother, I commended him. I gave him all this love earlier, and I'm gonna take that shit away. But no, I'm not, because honestly, I do have to give it up to him, because me and Marcus wouldn't even be if he didn't say something to me. If he didn't say, you know my boy Mark, I'm like, I don't know no Mark. I don't know a Mark. He was like, that nigga like you. I'm like, I don't know Mark. I'm like, I don't know no Mark, because he introduced himself to me as Marcus. But when I saw him walk through that door, and I'm sitting back here, I said, that's who Jeff was talking about. So I walked up to the front. I was doing a podcast interview, and I said, I took his hand. I said, you want to talk to me? And he said, he was all shy. Yeah, he was shy. Look.
So you pursued him then? You pursued him? Sound like
Jeff, if you know this nigga, Marcus will stutter his ass off. He will stutter. He stutters. Listen.
I thought you were over there, dog. I thought you was over there.
Hey, y'all. He stutters. I love my baby, but he stutters.
Yeah.
Okay?
When he's excited.
If he ain't stuttering, the nigga lying. Okay? He lying. If he ain't stuttering, he lying.
Oh, man.
It's facts. He'll tell you. But I have never experienced this type of love in my entire life. I've never experienced this type of consistency from a man in my life. And I have friends in this room, not just Jeff. I have girlfriends in this room that have seen me evolve, that have seen me go through a bunch of shit. And I have to, because I'm on the mic, I got to call them out. Sherry had known me over 25 years. She didn't see me in all my shit. She didn't see me in clubs fighting. She didn't see me arguing, fussing, cussing, all that. Sherry has seen me do a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot. And I didn't see her do. I ain't gonna call Sherry. I ain't gonna call Sherry. I ain't gonna call her. But I have friends in this room that know me for real. I got Sharon, who been my friend since before I even moved here. I got Dana. I got Lena. I got Yule ass. I got Tamara. I got Rodney. Rodney and I just met a couple of months ago. But I have people who truly support and love us and stand with us. So I'm going to close with this. We are meant to love people. We meant to love. We are meant to love. We are meant to have love. Stop that fake shit. Stop that fake shit. Y'all know y'all want to be loved.
All right,
ain't that right, baby?
Hey, can I get like 2
Michael
minutes?
want to say something.
Real quick, 2 seconds, real quick. I mean, and this is really, okay, give me a couple more.
Okay, I got it.
and this is for the ladies who are looking for a man, coming from the guy's perspective, from a guy who's been married over 30 years, And what I believe most men are looking for. If you are truly looking for a man, if you choose that right man, most men, it's all about how you make them feel. If you make them feel like they're the kingdom in their household, that they are the center of your attention, they will make you feel like you are the center of their attention. And so, I mean, and I would say that, I mean, I know a lot of women in the modern woman today, they want to be strong, independent, and I got all that because you had to be strong and independent, take care of your stuff and, make your money because there was not a man in the household or whatever the case may be. But if you're looking for a man, if you want a man to truly commit to you and love you and treat you the way you want to be deserved, the way you need to be treated, make him feel like a man. It's all, from my opinion, and I keep saying my opinion, it's all about how you make that man feel. And if he feels like he is the king in his castle, you will definitely be the queen. Absolutely be the queen if you choose that right man. So again, there's a lot of other factors that come in play, and there's other things that factors that come in play. But the main thing is just make that man feel like a man, and he will make you feel like a woman. It's really about how you make that man feel.
All right.
And I guarantee you, Marcus, you feel a certain way when you with her.
Yeah, I do. And right now, as she said all that good shit, I ain't gonna say nothing different ever. So we're gonna end this. And all I want to say to you, everybody, is we only get less than half the questions. I have a basket full of questions. Let us know, the group, if you want a part 2.
Yes.
Or
yes.
You want a part 2?
Yes.
Don't talk about it like somebody said.